right, Emily, thank you very much. And Texas Tech, Tommy Tuberville, feeling very good that his ball club can turn it around from last year's disappointing 5-7. And the best news is they're fairly healthy to start this season. And the kickoff by Texas Tech to Northwestern State. Wow. And it sails out of the end zone. No chance for Philip Harvey or Jamal White on the return for the Red Raiders. For the Demons, as the Demons will come out, and Brad Henderson will be their quarterback, 5'11", 210, a senior from Starkville, Mississippi. And interesting to see how they play on the opening possession when you're going against this Texas Tech team that says they better be a much better defensive group.
Yeah, and both these teams, Bill, are trying to get off the schneid. Northwestern State finished the season last year with 3 straight losses. They outscored 121-37, and Tech lost their last 5 games of the season. Both want to get that bad taste out of their mouth. Henderson,
they operate out of the pistol. The quick pitch outside is complete, and nowhere that time, though, for the receiver, Philip Harvey, as the tackle made by Douglas and Bullitt.
I'll tell you, Bullitt read this perfectly. It was a receiver screen, and trying to make the block out there was Clifton Brown. Bullitt was there so fast, he was there like a speeding bullet. He was Superman on that play. Man, he came downhill on that one big time.
Honorable mention, all-conference pick in the Big 12 a year ago. Terrence Bullitt, a junior out of Garland, Texas, Naaman Forest High School. They're on the east side of Dallas, as Northwestern State starts out in a hole. 2nd and 13, a loss of 3 after that initial play. And the handoff to Sidney Riley. Riley is stuffed, and a penalty flag is thrown. He is stopped at the 25-yard line.
I think
Johnson on the tackle.
Sorry, Bill, I think Texas Tech lined up in the neutral zone. And I think it was the corner in the slot was trying to get up as close as he could to his receiver. It looked to me like he may have been in the neutral zone.
Offside, number 2, defense, 5-yard penalty. Replay.
That's exactly what it was Cornelius Douglas. He was trying to get as close as he could. He's on the far side. On the far side, his hands are in front of his chest. And he's lined up in that neutral zone. And you can see, there he is. Unfortunately, that tackle for loss is nullified.
Referee Alan Eck and the officiating crew out of the Big 12 Conference here tonight. So it is 2nd down and 8, the ball at the 27. And Henderson hands it off, and Riley pulls forward, gets to the 30, and stopped there. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5, it appears, as Sidney Riley, a senior from Columbia, Mississippi, last year ran for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, Texas Tech started the season off with a tackle for loss. They'd like to finish it with a 3-and-out. There was a penalty, lining up off sides in the middle there. Hopefully that won't deter them from the 3-and-out defensively, because they kick it off to a great start here.
3rd and 5 at the 30. Opening possession for the Demons of Northwestern State. And the handoff to Riley, and he is rocked. And the crowd gets into it here at Jones AT&T Stadium. Samu Guavin, a sophomore out of Garland, Texas, making the charge there.
Watch how many players ran to the football. Good run support on the perimeter, set the edge, and multiple Tech players peppering the receiver. Art Kaufman doing a great job as the new defensive coordinator. The 4th defensive coordinator in 4 seasons. The seniors here at Texas Tech, I'll tell you, they have to be resilient mentally.
Texas Tech last year defensively, they were just miserable, as they were 114 as far as offense given up. And they got to make huge improvement there. First series, so far so good. As Deaver downs the ball, and Texas Tech will get pretty good field position for its first possession for Seth Dagey. A 29-yard kick. No return on the play, as Dagey, the senior from Wolford, Texas, 6'1", 197, takes control, as last year he completed 69% of his passes for over 4,000 yards. But what's Tommy Tuberville say?
Yeah, he's going to throw for over 5,000 this season. Very confident that Dagey will get better.
And that's how much confidence they have in him, and they say he's grown in confidence. Little soft toss across the middle as complete across the 45-yard line, and still pushing forward That is Eric Ward, the junior out of Wichita Falls, their leading returning receiver. 84 grabs, 800 yards a year ago.
Well, the last time we saw him, Billy had 16 catches, a school record against Baylor. Look at the yards after catch. Great blocking on the perimeter, and then you're a running back after receiving the football, and that's exactly what Ward was.
Picked up 13 yards in the first down, and the Raiders on the ground this time, and brought down near another first down. We'll see if they spot it at the 40 of Northwestern State as Jamal White makes the tackle on Sadale Foster. They're really excited about many of their junior college players, and this one is a guy that really gets Tommy Tuberville going. He's out of Riverside, California.
I'll tell you, he's short and squatty. It's like tackling a pectoral and a quadricep.
9-yard pickup, and Dagey quickly with the pass and a flag thrown after he released it. It may be a roughing call against Northwestern State.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 57, defense. 15-yard penalty.
So the Demons get nothing offensively.
Right.
Short punt. Tech's high-speed offense is working, and then a key penalty.
Yeah, and that's what you can't do. You can't self-destruct. Texas Tech is good enough. So you don't want penalties that are going to extend plays. And he had plenty of time to pull off the play, and he didn't. And Johnson had an unfortunate, unnecessary hit on Dagey.
1st and 10 at the 25 for Texas Tech on the Raiders' first possession of the football. And it is intercepted by Northwestern State on the return. The Demons still with the ball down to the 40 and inside for Texas Tech. Cortez Page comes up with the INT.
Cortez Page is the nickel defensive back. And boy, I'll tell you, this ball sailed on Dagey. You know, just the high release point, the ball sails on him, and that's just a good play, good heads-up play. And not only intercepting the football, but flipping field position after the interception. Tremendous return of that picked-off pass. Nice job by the Demons.
Page takes it back 39 yards on the return. So now Northwestern State, much better field position. They'll run a lot of different sets, all out of the pistol. And coach is telling us they're not going to hold back anything. They have nothing to lose here tonight. 1st and 10 at the 36. Henderson keeps to inside the 30-yard line.
Well, that was a nice little prestidigitation there. Nice ball handling, faking the reverse, making the dive. Henderson keeps the ball and takes it right up the gut of the defense for 5 yards. So very good play call on first down and nicely executed.
I'd like to welcome those viewers that have joined us that have been watching Iowa State and the University of Tulsa, the season opener up in Ames, Iowa. We just started here. A turnover is given upstart Northwestern State a great opportunity. It's a 2nd and 5 at the 31 of Texas Tech. Walker, the ball carrier, stopped by Delvon Simmons, a sophomore from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. This is a guy they really think could be a big-time performer up front.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. And Coach Kaufman, his defense, the chain gang they call themselves, can't have a weak link in the defense, and that makes a strong chain. Are they going to be able to hold on sudden change after the turnover? Will they be able to limit this to nothing but a field goal opportunity?
Tech last year allowed 39 points a game, 117th in scoring defense. Going for 6 here. It is incomplete. Another flag is thrown on the play, though.
Texas Tech was in the neutral zone. I think there's going to be another penalty on Tech. It'll be first down by penalty.
Number 8, defense. A 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Simmons inside. There he is. Breaks his stance. Gets into the neutral zone. Can't get back. Snap of the football. He's encroached. And it gives the first down up. Those are the kind of things that Coach Kaufman is going to like. You don't want to make the mental mistakes. Don't listen to the quarterback with that voice inflection. Don't move till the ball moves.
So, 1st and 10 at the 24 for Northwestern State. Henderson hands it off. Walker takes it down to the 21-yard line. Robert Walker's a junior, transferred from Louisiana Lafayette. Davis makes the tackle.
And just a little power pull the guard around the horn, fullback leading up there. It's just power football. A little gap blocking scheme. Try to angle block Texas Tech a little bit, make them concerned with, boy, where are they coming from? They're not just coming straight ahead at me. They're coming from all angles.
2nd and 7 for Henderson again out of the gun. As Henderson passes deflected up front. I think it was Jackson Richards.
I think you're right. He got airborne and with the big muckers and deflected the ball.
Sophomore out of Southlake, Texas, 6'4", 248-pounder. Take a look on the right side.
Yeah, watch 43 in the dark jersey. Get his hand up. Right hand, deflect the ball. Nice job. If you're not going to sack the quarterback, get in his throwing lanes and get your hands up. Two things can happen. You obstruct his vision, or you may get your hand on the level.
9:34 to go first quarter. Second possession for Northwestern State after an interception of Seth Dagey. And it is 3rd and 7 at the 21 for the Demons. Henderson. Incomplete. Went right through the hands, I believe, that time of Oye.
Boy, and Coach Cochran decided to rush 3 and drop 8. 8 in coverage, found a little hole in the zone. Catchable football. Got to make that play. You get 2 hands on the pig, you got to secure the thing. And fortunately for Texas Tech, and unfortunately for Northwestern State, that play wasn't made. You have to settle for a longer field goal.
That'll bring on the kicker, John Shaughnessy, who last year, first team all-conference in the Southland, hit 14 of 16 in field goal attempts. And this one is no good.
He had set a record, Bill. Coming into this season, he finished with 12 straight, school record. He misses his first one on this season.
Misses on a 38-yard attempt. Texas Tech holds. Right back. Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas. Northwestern State of the Southland Conference against the Big 12's Texas Tech. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Emily Jones with you here this evening. And no score as we've had plenty of action, though. Here's the blocked field goal.
Coming off the edge, deflected the football. That's cutting the corner very, very tight and short. Extend, deflect it. Both teams put a high premium on special teams, and nice execution right there by Nebo. He got his hand on the football, deflected it with the right hand, so a block kick. The last 2 years, Northwestern State has blocked 7 kicks. Texas Tech just turned it around on him. The first field goal attempt to Shaughnessy to start the 2012 season after finishing 2011 with 12 straight made field goals, a school record. Texas Tech gets their hand on it.
Red Raiders coming off a 5-7 season a year ago where Tommy Tuberville saw his ball club. Crazy season, devastating injuries. They start off 4-1. They beat Oklahoma when the Sooners are ranked number 1, and then everything caught up to them, and they went down quickly and end up 5-7. He's hoping this year they get off to a good start. The schedule sets up nicely for them. They can stay healthy and gain some momentum as they carry on. On the carry, stopped at the 21-yard line. Quickly, we'll check the lineups for you for Texas Tech. That offensive line, they got a couple of youngsters anchored by 3 veterans.
Yeah, 2 redshirt freshmen at guard, but Waddle, the left tackle, number 65, is the stud.
Backs and receivers, we mentioned Stevens would be a key figure here today, but they'll play a lot of folks. Tommy Tuberville really excited about the depth. There's proof. Kenny Williams, the carrier that time. He's a sophomore from Pflugerville, Texas. Last year ran for 135 yards and a pair of scores, tackled by Burt White.
Yeah, this Tech offense is high powered. Seth Dagey's first possession ends with interception. He only threw 10 all season last year. He had 28 touchdowns to only 10 interceptions.
3rd and 6 for Dagey and the Raiders. No score, ball at their own 25-yard line. Clock ticking with 8:26 in the first quarter. Dagey hit as he throws, and it is complete. What a grab by Marquez. They're expecting big things from this guy. Sophomore from Odessa. Albert made the tackle. He's also been playing a little pro baseball with the minor leagues during the summer. Didn't seem to hurt his football catching abilities.
I'll tell you, he's a strong-bodied kid that is an absolute playmaker. Leroy Armstrong put the hit on Dagey just as he was releasing the football. Just a little too late, didn't alter the trajectory.
Picks up 13. It's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Dagey hands it off to the end around here, and the Demons. Good pursuit to the football, making the tackle on the play was White.
Boy, Grant did a good job of getting all he could, and you're right. Great recognition by Northwestern State, Bill. Everybody played their responsibility, stayed at home. You know, there was a little play fake off left tackle, and it looked like Dagey may do a little bit of a zone read deal, and around the horn comes Grant on a little orbit reverse, and they pitched the ball to him. Nice play. Discussing a penalty right here.
Too many flags in there.
12th player got off the field before the snap. There is no foul for illegal substitution.
The player just made it to the sideline before the snap of the football. Almost caught with too many men on the field, but it was A-OK.
So Texas Tech, 2nd and 7 after Grant getting the carry and picking up 3 yards from the 41.
Checking the play here. Play coming in, different play being sent in from the sideline by hand signal, and Dagey communicates it.
Dagey drops it off here. Stevens dancing, now heads forward. Looks like he's a little shy of the first down as Derrick Rose, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. He's out of New Orleans.
I'd say the left knee's okay. Watch the moves that he makes here. Watch the patience. Okay, I'm going to pick some blockers up. Showing ability to change direction, cut, explode. He gets kind of bent over backwards and just bounces right back up. That's the biggest thing after reconstructive knee surgery, is taking the first big hit and walking away from it.
Yeah, he tore his ACL, his MCL, and dislocated his knee.
Boy.
Said he's going to wear a knee brace for this game, but after this, he's going to wait and see. Didn't like it in the preseason scrimmages. Trainer may have something to say about that as he dances his way across the 50 to the 46-yard line here. And let's check out the Demons' defensive lineup here as Jamal White, one of their stars on the defensive side, made a tackle on that play. Johnson, Metcalf, Deemer, and Abdallah up front. 6-yard pickup that time. Linebackers, William Smith and Rose.
He is a Rose, too. He's a great player.
And we mentioned White. Of course, Page already had the interception return, and Claiborne is a playmaker as well. 2nd and 4 at the 46. Stevens dives forward. Up to the 44-yard line.
You know, like we talked about, Bill, in the first 5 games last season, Stevens rushed for over 100 yards in 4 of them. And it makes the offense, it balances the offense out. And it helps keep the defense off the field, too. You know, you start controlling time of possession. Without him, they became a much different team. And they lost 5 out of their last 6 without him.
Timeout. Northwestern State.
Timeout called by the Demons of Northwestern State. And Brad Pivoteau will be right back on Fox. 6 minutes to go. First quarter, no score. Welcome back. No score here at Texas Tech. Hey, they got the Hall of Honor going here, and 3 inductees tonight are great ones. We're going to have a chance to hear from them. Donnie Anderson is standing by now with our Emily Jones.
Well, thank you very much. Well, Donnie, this school retired your number already. Now your name is up here in the stadium. First part of the first class of the Ring of Honor. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's the best honor you can have, the university, and I'm glad that Kirby started this, and it's a measure really of your teammates that you played with that allowed you to have such an extraordinary career at Texas Tech. So I always like to think that I wouldn't have anything if I hadn't had them. I'd probably been playing baseball is what I've always said if I could have. But I think it's the highest honor you can have.
When you look at the career that you had here at Texas Tech and the 2 guys that you go in with to this inaugural class of the Ring of Honor, E.J. Holub and Dave Parks, how neat is that for you to be a part of?
Well, I got to play with Dave when I was a sophomore, and obviously his career as a professional and EJ's as a professional, which I didn't play with EJ. He was already gone when I was a freshman. But, you know, they're the icons, the foundation that made this school get started, and recruiting and Southwest Conference back then. So I'm very proud at the University of Texas Tech. I've been a Red Raider all my life, and so I'm just very fortunate to have the opportunity to perform and do all the things that J.T. King allowed me to do.
This is an exclusive club. It won't be every year. You guys are the first 3. You got any ideas for who should join you in the coming years?
Well, I think Gabe Rivera is going into the Collegiate Hall of Fame, and my personal thought after visiting to a lot of people is that might be one of the criteria, because there's no reason to have 50 names up here, because you would delete everything it's all about, right? So he's going in December, so I think if there's other criteria, I don't know, but that one I'm sure will be one.
Donnie, I appreciate your time. One more thing, Dave Lapham wants to know how your golf game is.
Well, you know, I've been so blessed to be able to play golf, and I shot my age the other day, 69. So tell him that I'm still hanging in there. And I love to play golf. I love to compete. So I'm still trying.
Donnie, thank you so much for the time. Dave, you heard him. Man shot his age, 69. Not bad.
Not bad at all. That's amazing. And I played against Gabe Rivera, senior sack. He is Ring of Honor worthy, I can tell you.
All right, Donnie Anderson with Emily. Thanks very much. And the Red Raiders are knocking on the door here, looking for their first score. Great catch by Marcus Kennard to set him up here for a 1st and 10. And then a pickup of 4 gives it 2nd and 6 now. The ball at the 19.
The good thing that Tech's doing on 3rd down, Bill, 3 for 3. Can't do any better than that. Moving the chain, staying on the field.
2nd and 6, 19-yard line. Still no score. 4:04 to go first quarter. Nagy trying to change that and connects again. And that'll move the chains again. Zuzalik makes the grab. Austin Zuzalik, veteran receiver and kick return man here at Texas Tech.
One thing that Tech did last year, another great thing they did offensively, 74% of the time, almost 3 out of every 4 times in the red zone, they scored a touchdown.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 2, defense. The penalty will be enforced. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So Northwestern State doesn't do itself any good there with a personal foul afterwards.
Yeah, and there's a spear right there on the ground, leading with the head, spearing in the back. And Jamal White just has to choke it down just a little bit. Great player, a little over-exuberant on that one, and a valid flag.
So first down, goal to go from the 6. Nagy throwing for 6. Looking for Kennard. Touchdown. Touchdown, Texas Tech. What a grab by Marcus Kennard.
Well, he must have gotten 1 foot down. He definitely caught the football. Remember, in college football, you only have to get 1 foot in bounds, not 2. But you talk about a guy with body control, and he's got a height advantage. He's got a size advantage. Throw the fade, get up. Yeah, right foot down, toes in. Official right there. Side judge makes an excellent call. He's looking right at it. Watch the right foot. Dot the I. Oh, does he do it before the hand is out of bounds? Is the hand out of bounds before the foot comes down? And he did tap with the right toe and drag it along. Now, remember, every play in college football can be reviewed.
They're going to do that right now.
And what you have to watch for, Bill, he braced this ball with his right hand. Did his right hand come down out of bounds before his right foot came down in bounds? The left hand on the line. Oh, it's bang, bang. His left hand is out of bounds right there in the toe. It's simultaneous. I mean, it is bang, bang. I'm not sure there's enough to overturn it. You know, if it's that close and you have to freeze frame it to make a call on it, I think they'll say the official was there, he was looking at it, and boom, boom, it's right, it's bang, bang. I mean, it is almost, you have to have a photo finish. It is incredible how close that is, and I'm not sure they overturn it. They'll probably let it stand because it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. And, boy, that's a close one, though.
Man, Kennard, a senior out of Lawton, Oklahoma, via Butler Community College from Kansas. Last year had 12 receptions for 182 yards and an average of 15 yards per catch. He's made 2 great catches on this drive, Dave, that the one that extended the drive, and then that catch, when we watched it live, I thought, you got to be kidding me. That's not a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it absolutely, and I agree with you, I got a feeling that it's going to stand just because the way it was ruled. Had they ruled that it was out, I think that would have stood.
I agree. I think there's not enough to overturn. The call in the field is imperative. And, you know, it has to be indisputable to overturn the call. So the call in the field was ruled touchdown. And I would, as an official, a guy makes an effort like that, I give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, left hand, right foot. It's coming down to earth, gravity. I mean, it's simultaneous. It's boom, boom. So I say the effort that he gave, the body control, the ballerina-type effort to stay tightrope the sideline like that, I'm not sure you take that touchdown pass away from him. Although, you know, on the flip side of it, Northwestern State, Rico Albert and his teammates and the coaching staff and all the fans of Northwestern State are saying, that's not a touchdown. His left hand was out.
After further review, the receiver landed out of bounds. The pass is incomplete.
They are taking it away.
Second and goal, 6-yard line.
Saying the hand was out of bounds.
Exactly, the left hand. Yeah, the left hand came down before the right foot, like we were just saying.
Out of bounds, and as a result,
it's close. It was bang bang, but they ruled it that way. Tommy Tuberville, you almost have to go through a kinesiology course because we're talking left hand, right foot. I mean, it's all body parts. Which hit first? And they decided to take that touchdown pass away from Seth Dagey, and the tremendous effort that was made by Marcus Kennard.
So second and goal from the 6. Dagey will get a shot again here. Dagey last year threw for 28 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions. His teammates say his confidence has grown, and he's been an even better leader so far this season. Hands it off here as Stevens, it's a couple. Pat Black makes the tackle, and a lot of enthusiasm drained out of the crowd on that play.
Well, and the thing is, it can't be drained out of the offensive huddle. Dagey has to rally the troops and say, okay, a little piece of adversity. You know, don't let one bad play or one bad call linger. Get over it. And that was the little thing that Seth Dagey had a problem with last season. You'd make a bad play or have a bad series and let it linger. You got to move on and see if you can improve on that this year. And the call went against them. Move on and still score.
So third and goal from the 4. And Dagey gives to Stevens. Stevens trying to cut outside, goes in, and he scores! Oh, mama! What a run by Eric Stevens!
Conclusive proof, once again, the reconstructed left knee is fine. Whoever did that surgery, that doctor, did an incredible job. Watch the bounces it, cut back inside. I mean, violent cuts. And no issue whatsoever. And it's a sight for sore eyes for Texas Tech fans that a very, very gifted football player is back and back full force. Eric Stevens Jr.
And the kick by Ryan Buston, the sophomore from Kilgore, Texas, is up and good. And Texas Tech with Stevens gets on the board first here in Lubbock. Welcome back. Texas Tech with Stevens getting the first touchdown of the season, and the Red Raiders up 7-0. 2:50 to go first quarter. Another look.
Watch Stevens in space against Jamal White. A sure open field tackle. He makes Jamal White sail out into space. Plants that left foot, makes a violent cut back inside. He's smiling because he's back.
He had a great start last year, as we told you in the opening comments, and then a devastating knee injury. Stevens, 565 yards in his 5 games. He scored 8 touchdowns last season.
He's a touchdown maker, big play maker, special.
So the kickoff now for Texas Tech. And this one will be down in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback as Northwestern State will have possession. We come back trailing 7-0 on Fox College Football. Don't tease us with that grill going and that kielbasa. A partner might just leave me here. Head for the parking lot.
Horseshoe-shaped kielbasa. Oh, don't chop it. Yeah, Bill, you take half, I'll take the other half. Just leave it right like that.
You'll take two
don't
and
chop
a half.
it up. Oh, don't chop it up.
Bill and groceries laughing with you, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby, that's good stuff.
I'll tell you. College football, September, hand in hand, season underway. Life is good.
Favorite time of the year, bar none.
Forget game time temperature 94. It'll cool off out here in the South Plains once that sun sets. It is 1st and 10 for Northwestern State. Work to do, down 7-0. Henderson on the keeper this time. Tackled by Cody Davis, the senior from Stephenville, Texas, one of the real veterans, and Tommy Tuberville calls him a glue guy for that defense.
Yeah, he was exactly where he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there, and that's the key with Cody Davis. He's an academic All-American. He's had 4 different defensive coordinators in 4 years. He knows what to do and when to do it.
This is his 37th career start here at Red Raider land. 2nd and 8 now after a pickup of 2 from the 27. Henderson, a little option, keeps the football, runs into a Texas Tech wall, of flag at the end of that play. Leon Mackey led the tackling charge. He's a senior out of Wilmington, Delaware.
And you see this Texas Tech defense really...
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 11, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's Leon Mackey with the horse collar, and that's when you put your hand in the nape of the neck, right below the helmet, in the back of the nape of the neck, and then take him right through. And it's on the jersey. It's not really. And boy, he got him in the grill though. He could have called the face mask instead of horse collar because he grabbed the face mask with the left hand. And so.
Well, you got one word though if you're coaching players: safety. Yeah. The refs are always going to make the call that endangers the safety of a player. Yeah. Well, nobody's safe on that offensive possession, as trying to carry the football was Grant Trasaw. They bring him in to run the Wildcat, 6 foot 190, redshirt freshman from Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Well, and the shotgun snap was rolled back there. They had to do it on the short hop, so it was doomed from the word go, because the shotgun snap was not effective. I mean, it was on the ground to begin with. That afforded the play. You can see, though, that Texas Tech is in their gaps, and Art Kaufman has them playing much, much better defense.
2nd and 15 after that loss of 5. Harvey, the man in motion. Quarterback Henderson back in. Oh, and really picked off. The defensive lineman got a paw on it. I think it was Kerry Hyder, the junior from Austin.
Kerry Hyder is a guy that can really, really run. Watch him get up with the left hand and deflect it. And a little celebration at the end. I was impressed. He came back with a little vertical with a teammate. Got himself airborne.
Well, Henderson, whether Hyder, one of the few to play every game last year, 42 tackles, 5 for loss. He's been impressive in preseason drills as Tech's improved defense, they hope, 110 away from shutting out Northwestern State for a quarter. Henderson steps up, drills it across the middle, and it's complete to Harvey. He's got a first down in Texas Tech territory. Cody Davis makes the tackle, and the Demons will move the chains to near the 40, making the 38-yard line.
Boy, he put this in a great spot. Hit him in full stride. You don't have to slow down an iota. And that's the reason that was a completion. He threw him away from contact and threw him into open spaces. Hit him in stride. Perfect.
Senior out of Lancaster, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Gives them a 1st and 10 on the 38 now of Texas Tech. Red Raiders up 7-zip. And again, complete and out of bounds near the first down marker as Davis makes the defensive play on Corey Simmons, a big sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia, transfer from South Carolina.
He's got good bloodlines. Clyde Simmons with the Philadelphia Eagles, multiple Pro Bowl defensive end. Clyde Simmons' son, built just like Clyde, thick in the hips, lower body strength. Corey Simmons is going to be a factor in this program.
Yeah, they like him. They've set up kind of a package of plays, and we are told when he's in,
he's getting it.
He's probably going to get the football, and it shows you there he can make the best of it. 1st and 10. Tech defense rallies, though, to corral Henderson. Lost his hat as well on the play. Hyder again leading the way for the Red Raiders, and we have 13 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Another new rule, he has to leave the game for a play. When the helmet comes off, the play is over, blown dead immediately. No more hitting because he's in a vulnerable position, and the player that loses his helmet has to leave the field of play for a snap. Now, if he's wrong and is in terrible shape, he has to leave for longer than that. He'll be back in after one snap and the quarter ends.
Teams are doing a lot of work to figure out how they're going to glue those helmets on players. That could be a big play. End of the first quarter, Texas Tech on top 7-0 over Northwestern State. We'll be right back in 11. Welcome back. Henderson's pass is batted away. Canyon replacing Henderson, who had to sit out of play because of the helmet. And Richards again puts the pressure on. So now Northwestern State, Dave, is sitting with a 3rd and 14, the ball on the Texas Tech 30 as we start the second quarter.
Yeah, now doing a good job again of if you can't sack the quarterback, get your hands in the passing lane. Richards got 2 passes broken up in a little over a quarter of play.
See if the Raiders come after him here. Henderson steps up, got a man. Harvey incomplete on the Demons sideline inside the 10.
They rushed 4 and dropped 7, did Art Kaufman. DJ Johnson, safety, is caught in coverage against the best receiver. And the best receiver, Philip Harvey, does get separation on the safety, DJ Johnson. That's a favorable matchup, overthrown just slightly. Almost a tremendous play. Great route run by Philip Harvey, who's got the change of direction quickness, sink the hips, get in and out of the cuts.
Shaughnessy sets up for a 47-yard field goal attempt. He had his first one blocked, and this one is good. John Shaughnessy gives Texas Tech, or gives Northwestern State its first points, and makes it a 7-3 game. So Shaughnessy shows you a little bit of leg.
Honorable mention, All-American. Boy, he doesn't take a big leg swing. He just drives at that football. Not a huge follow through. He generates a lot of power. Excellent student as well.
While we got a moment, let's send it down to the sidelines and Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Northwestern State with a very interesting travel week because of Hurricane Isaac. They made the decision to leave on Wednesday. They stopped in Fort Worth, stayed the night, and Dick Bumpus, the TCU defensive coordinator, coached with Coach Pivito at Houston. So he was gracious enough to open their facilities to them, allow them to work out, get one in on Thursday before heading here to Lubbock. So some kind thoughts and actions extended by a fellow member of the Big 12 to the Northwestern State Demons, guys.
Yeah, nice that the coaches work together, and Isaac creating havoc with a lot of college football. Some games postponed, some pushed back a little bit. And for Northwestern State, a matter of getting out of there and coming all the way through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Nice of TCU to help them out.
Beautiful new facility at TCU, and Northwestern State is the first team to use a visiting locker room. And that new facility, due to being evacuated by the hurricane.
TCU, newest member of the Big 12, along with West Virginia, as the kickoff will be down in the end zone. Speaking of West Virginia, they just hammered Marshall today, 69-34. I also want to remind our viewers that later on this evening, about the time this one wraps up, 9:30, Oklahoma against UTEP in El Paso. That'll be on Fox Sports Southwest. So make sure you get set for that one. It'll kind of wrap up another great opening day of college football.
Oklahoma, 4th in the country in a couple of the preseason polls, top 5 by just about everybody. Interesting to see if they're as complete a football team as everybody feels they are.
Texas Tech, 1st and 10 from its 25. Stevens, who had the touchdown the last possession, rolls here, cut it outside, and there might have been a flag thrown. He's knocked down at the 30. 32.
Watch number 65 in the red jersey. He's got a little bit of a grip, but watch him finish. Oh, he ends up pancaking, and they may have called a hold on the perimeter.
Number 56, 15-yard penalty to the end of the line. Automatic first down.
Did see a flag thrown there, and that was the tail end there. There it is.
Face mask, yep. Boy, it was. These kids are grabbing the face mask. They're not only grabbing it, they're not letting go. They're grabbing and yanking, and that's where you can get the neck injuries. So, if you get your hand up in the grill, you're going to have to let it go. Let that face mask be.
Penalties been a problem here in the early going. Both teams still getting the kinks out here in this season opener. 1st and 10 at the 46 for Texas Tech. Daggy. Great accuracy, completes it to Marquez. He steps out of bounds about the 46-yard line of the Demons. Fred Thomas there, and we'll We'll take another look.
By formation, Texas Tech makes you defend the whole field horizontally as well as vertically. And Daggy showing the arm strength there.
8 yards on that pickup. They come right back on the ground this time. And 2nd and 2. Stevens close to getting another first down for him.
What Texas Tech does so well is they just start counting the box. And if the opponent, in this case, Northwestern State, starts loading the box up with an extra guy to stop the run of Eric Stevens, they're going to start throwing it. Right now, they're keeping 7 in the box, 6 in the box, and they're continuing to run.
And again, running the football as fan bellows out below us. Throw the ball. They're still remembering the days of Mike Leach out here at Texas Tech. And of course, Leach and his new stop up in Washington State ran into an outstanding BYU team the other night in the opener. But Texas Tech sold 31,000 season tickets for this year. That's second behind last year. So good crowd on hand here tonight. And the Red Raiders, figuring even though most people have picked them in the 10-team Big 12, we've seen 6 to 8. They think they can get a little higher than that. A lot of things got to go right for them. This one is complete, and another first down and another helmet off. Yep. So we're going to see another player head to the sideline as Eric Ward lost his head.
Got to put that chin strap a little tighter, maybe a double chin strap on there, but that one came off pretty easily because just a wrap around the shoulders, and then it ended up sliding up to the helmet, and that wasn't major contact. It yanked that helmet off there. They're going to have to buckle it up a little bit tighter. But
Sorrell, made the tackle.
Tommy Tuberville feels like you have to play defense and control your own destiny. You have to have a running game to do it as well.
And he's showing a little bit of that running game. Stevens. Another first down. Pat Black making the tackle.
You have to give kudos to the offensive line for Tech right now. Senior at center, 2 seniors at the tackle position, redshirt freshmen at the guards. So the upperclassmen are taking care of those rookies inside very nicely.
In the dump pass to Stevens. You know, and Tommy Tuberville, we saw a shot of it there. And people think, well, like the fan yelling, throw the ball. Well, when he's telling us he thinks his quarterback could throw for 5,000 yards, right. Folks, he's not going into a shell offensively. Tommy's concern is we got to stop the other guy. He feels great about his offense, and I think he feels with the changes he's made in his staff and the depth that they have defensively, they are going to be better.
And Northwestern State is running the defensive game plan that Iowa State ran against Texas Tech, and they basically made them run the football.
And here again, on the ground, this is Williams. Kenny Williams, and another helmet comes off.
Lineman has to check out. And that's the best lineman that they have, has to check out. Waddle has to check out. And this guy's going to make a lot of money. He is a quality left tackle. And watch him to the far right of the screen. The guys are in each other's grill in a face mask, and that helmet pops off. I'll tell you what, they're going to have to do a better job of strapping those chin straps on. Go double chin strap. Single chin strap's not keeping it on.
Waddle, a senior out of Columbus, Texas, 6'6", 330. Their 3 senior linemen have 68 career starts coming in here among them, and that gives them some confidence that those redshirt freshmen, Morales and Clark, can come along at their own pace. With a pitch to Williams, to the 10, the 5, just missed the pylon. Daggy complete to Williams. White made the stop.
Broken coverage. You know, you have to account for everybody that's a potential receiver, and nobody took Williams out of the backfield. All he did was run a little wheel route out of the backfield. Nobody was within 5 yards of him. Broken assignment in the secondary by the Demons defense. It's not going to be appreciated by Gary DeLoach, the defensive coordinator.
Williams stays in. We'll see if he gets an opportunity on a 1st and goal from the 2 to score a touchdown here. Stevens had the opening score. Daggy to throw it. And complete. Ward, touchdown, Red Raiders, flag on the play.
I didn't see any movement. Let's make sure that Texas Tech was in a formation that was legal. Have to have enough people on the line of scrimmage. Or did Northwestern State line up in the neutral zone?
Illegal formation offense. More than 4 men were in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
We're all over it.
First down.
Yeah, that one was a little bit funky. I mean, in the backfield. Look at the guys in the backfield, and they didn't have enough. You have to have 6 on the line of scrimmage, so the receiver wasn't on the line of scrimmage, And as a result of that, you know, you have to have too many. They had only 4 men in the backfield. Tommy Tuberville doesn't like the fact that that was an illegal formation, nullifying the touchdown.
So with 11:25 to go before the first half ends, first and goal from the 7 now. And Daggy to throw it again. And another flag, and they'll get another first down opportunity here as this one, Kennard battling there against Amon Claiborne.
And, you know, it used to be, is that a catchable football? And if it's way too far upstairs.
Pass interference, number 18, defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
And in my opinion, now you have to factor in these kids have 42-inch vertical jumps in some spots.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, the ball is high. Some of these guys can climb the ladder. If you're being grabbed and it's preventing you from getting upstairs, some of these kids can get up to the, you know, up to the 10th floor.
Back where we were a couple of plays ago. And here's Eric Stevens, comes right behind that line and sneaks into the end zone. Stevens gets his second score. Texas Tech. No flags here. Red Raiders 13-3.
Yeah, Texas Tech has had 2 touchdowns nullified by penalty, but they came right back on the next snap to the same guy and said, okay, you know what? Our passing game, it's being taken away. Actually, it was an interference call. It wasn't a touchdown pass, but set that one up at the 1-yard line, and they gave it to Stevens to finish off the drive. Nobody set the edge defensively for Northwestern State. And that was the problem. Lack of run support on the perimeter.
And the kick from Buston is good. It's 14-3. Stevens, 9 carries, 36 yards, a pair of TDs, and the Red Raiders lead at 14-3 over Northwestern State. It's time now to look at our BMW Ultimate Drive of the game as Texas Tech getting Williams and Stevens to work here.
And get it on the ground, do it in the air. Williams runs a little wheel right out of the backfield. He's uncovered. Mistake by Northwestern State. Then finish it on the ground. Eric Stevens Jr. in his last 5.5 games, he's got 10 rushing touchdowns. Not bad. Nice balance offensively.
BMW Ultimate Drive of the game. 10 plays, 75 yards. Raiders lead at 14-3. Bill and Dave Lapham, Emily Jones with you here on Fox College Football. And the Red Raiders will kick it off here to Northwestern State. And they're going to bring it out of the end zone this time. And to the 15, Harvey is splattered about the 17-yard line. And Northwestern State will take over there. Dees in on the tackle. Blake Dees.
Both of these teams put a lot of emphasis on special teams during camp. Both teams had practices devoted solely to special teams. Both teams start practices off with special teams. Very, very important. Tommy Tuberville said, our goal is to win 2 or 3 games as a result of special teams excellence instead of losing 2 or 3 games like we did last year with blocked field goals and kickoff returns and things of that nature. So far, special teams play have been very, very effective for Tommy Tuberville and Texas Tech.
Yeah, Tech last year so close to getting a bowl bid again. They lost to A&M by 5, Kansas State by 7, both at home. Then they win at number 1 Oklahoma and come home and get blown out by Iowa State. And injuries figured in there, but there was also just a lot of inconsistencies. Another flag is thrown here.
Well, when you're backed up, the last thing you want to do is take too much time to snap the football. Now you have a longer field to negotiate. Tommy Tuberville has to be impressed with his special teams and his defense. And remember, there are 3 phases. I think he feels like his offense can be top 10 again. He'd like his defense to be top 40 and his special teams to be effective.
1st and 15 for the Demons. Pitch and catch to Harvey from Henderson, and Harvey is ridden out of bounds there. Trey Porter, the junior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, out of Carl Albert High School, making the stop. Henderson, who sets 3 school records last year.
Right, so that's just a nice job of separating from blocks and pursuing inside-out pursuit. There seems to always be at least 2 guys at the football. You know, gang tackling. You know, don't leave your teammate out there, Gilligan on the island, no Marianne, no Professor. Get out there and help.
Yeah, you talk about technique and defensive formations, but every coordinator will tell you the first thing we got to do, we got to tackle well with what we've got.
They're getting them on the ground tonight.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Henderson throws it away this time.
Art Kaufman is a believer And it's not what you do, it's how you do what you do. In other words, are you lining up right? Are you hitting the right gap? Is your hand placement proper? Are you taking the proper first step? He's a stickler for all these fundamentals and all these details. And this defense is responding to him big time.
Now the crowd will get revved up on a 3rd and 7 for the Demons. Of 3 tonight, 3rd down situations, and Henderson in trouble here and has to just toss it away. Fortunate that he wasn't sacked on the play as Tech got after him pretty good.
And there was a receiver in the vicinity because, like you said, Bill, he did just throw it away. If he's in pocket and throwing it away and no receiver around, it's grounding. But that's extreme pressure. His last game of the season, Johnson and his football team, he was sacked 8 times. They lost the game 33-zip. He needs to get some confidence in his protection up front.
So Texas Tech has Javaris McRoy deep as the punter Nick Russo boots it away. Everyone runs away from it, and it'll be near midfield where Northwestern State will down the football. So Texas Tech will get excellent field possession. When we come back, Red Raiders lead at 14-3. Season opener college football from Texas Tech. The Red Raiders on top 14-3. That last punt attempt was very close to being blocked. Well, look at Russo's kick.
And Bradley Marquez off the edge. Look, it gets the right hand out, almost took it right off his foot. Tommy Tuberville saying, we already blocked the field goal. Let's go get ourselves a punt. It wasn't blocked, but it's in Nick Russo's head a little bit. And he had to alter his kick, went right up the elevator shaft. In a very, very short punt as a result of that pressure, less than half a field to negotiate.
Texas Tech, outstanding field position here with a 14-3 lead. Nearly tripled them in yardage so far in this game as Daggy wants it all right here, going to Kennard, and incomplete.
That was nice coverage down that time by Sorrell. Kennard has got size and speed. He's got a nice ratio. Ball was, if you took it to the middle of the field a little bit more, between the hash marks, just a little bit more to the middle of the football field. I know there was a safety closing from the other side that Dave was concerned with, but almost a big-time play.
Total yardage, 157 for Texas Tech, 48 is all for Northwestern State. 10:15 to go second quarter. Daggy delivers here, incomplete. Defender, a pretty good pop from Sorrell to knock it loose from Marquez.
Marquez got to catch it before you think about the first move. I think he lost his focus on the football because he wanted to make that first burst and make the defender miss. Secure the rock before you make your first move yards after catch.
Marquez, 25 receptions in his freshman season for 240 yards, 1 touchdown. He's been playing baseball with the New York Mets organization the past couple of summers. 3rd and 10 at the 49 now for the Red Raiders. Daggy delivers. This one is complete. And that will move the chains. About the 37-yard line of the Demons. Sorrell covering on the play, but a Red Raider first down.
Rush 3 and dropped 8, and Daggy put it low and outside. He put it in a perfect spot. Defender can't get there, but the receiver can. That's just a great throw by Daggy.
Marquez reception. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line now. It was an 11-yard pickup. Complete again. And tackle made by Fred Thomas.
Nice little cut block on the edge by Waddle. And I like guys that get salty on the edge. Waddle, he does a nice little chop block. He gets himself a little bit of separation for his quarterback. I mean, his Waddle's defender can't block the pass when he's on the ground.
And McRoy made that grab. And they're 7 of 7 on 3rd down. Here again is Kenny Williams on the carry. Boy, tough run for Williams to get him another first down.
Yeah, they have some depth at running back. They have depth at wide receiver. Texas Tech is loaded at the skill positions. They feel good about their quarterback. Man, Stevens, I'm telling you. Oh, kind of little jump cut there a couple of times. He's darting, boy. He's stopping and starting. He's getting right up. No issues with that knee.
I beg your pardon, I think I called him Williams. Stevens, he looks just incredible. Dave, you played long enough that coming back from an injury, no matter how well you rehab it, until you get hit that first time, he's made some terrific, confident moves already tonight. As this one is complete to Marquez, and then the ball's taken away, but whistled dead. Albert was covering on the play.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the race comes off at halftime, the way he's running. But this ball is thrown well. And Marquez, they're definitely paying some attention to number 4. He's got a strong body and can make plays.
9 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 1 at the 18 for Texas Tech, and the Red Raider offense looking more and more in rhythm here in this second quarter.
Change of play from the sideline. Dagey communicates it to the offensive lineman, and away we go.
And again, on the ground this time. As Texas Tech, last year, the Red Raiders offensively were 13th in the nation, 470 per game, but they were 87th in running, 125, 7th in passing. And as we mentioned, they want to throw it a bunch, but they know, particularly late in games, you have to have the ability to lock that thing up, give your defense some time off, and put games away.
Yeah, we get a chance after this timeout here. We do have an injured Northwestern State player inside the 20-yard line. That's being attended to, and don't want to lose that guy because he is the stud middle linebacker, Derek Rose. And hopefully he's just cramping. The way they're moving that foot, I think his right calf may be cramping on him a little bit. A night like tonight, you have to hydrate, and you have to overhydrate. If you haven't had enough potassium during the course of the week, you start cramping, it's hard to reverse that process. I think that's all that's happened to him.
It was 94 degrees at game time, and obviously the whole field is now in the shade, but it is still hot, and that turf retains that heat. And you don't just get up this morning and go, oh, it's hot, better drink a lot of water. It's like you say, you better been doing it all week.
Yep.
And this team, you know, has been doing it. But sometimes it's just hard to prevent. But boy, he is an outstanding player.
And a lot of times you expend so much emotional energy, that drains your body as well as the physical. You have to overdo it. And here he is trying right now to rehydrate a little bit. You almost have to overdo it to where it's like, man, my belly's full of fluid. I can't drink anymore. But you almost have to, or you can start cramping like that.
So 1st and 10 at the 16 now for Texas Tech. Season opener for both. 7:45 to go first half. Dagey, great protection, and delivers it on a dime again, and is complete, boy, to a number of receivers. This one is Jason Morrow, 6'5", 257, a sophomore out of San Antonio MacArthur.
Right hash mark to left numbers. That ball's in the air a while, but not as long as you'd expect because he's got such a powerful arm. But throw from right hash mark to left numbers or left sideline, you have to have a hose.
They got high hopes for Amaro. He is one big physical specimen who's got outstanding speed to add to that bevy of receivers.
Got to call that.
Ward was the intended receiver. They all wanted a flag here at Jones AT&T Stadium.
I thought he beat his defender, and the defender grabbed him. As he little stutter step, and right here, he actually just fell down. I thought he grabbed him as he was falling down. Fortunately for the defender, if they feet tangle up, it's not a problem. But he was grabbing on that towel a little bit. The official didn't think it was all that bad. Plus, the ball was off the field of play. Ward really never had an opportunity for the catch.
3rd and 1 at the 7. Grant man in motion. They hand it off again, and spinning forward, Williams this time. And stopped inside the 5-yard line. Easily got the first down. It'll be a 1st and goal now.
Well, Texas Tech is perfect in 2 categories. They're 8 for 8 on 3rd down, and they're 2 for 2 touchdowns in the red zone. Those are 2 categories to be good from a perfection standpoint offensively, and 100% in both areas. That's strong.
So 1st and goal. This one won't get underway. Whistles will bring a stop. A timeout was called by Northwestern State.
Timeout. Northwestern State, their second charge of that.
When you're extending drives by making plays on 3rd down, and when you're finishing drives by scoring touchdowns in the red zone, that's pretty good.
All right, stay with us as Tech knocking on the door again, up 14-3. Fox College football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. and by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer for the summer sales event. Ford is the best in Texas. Welcome back to Lubbock. It is a first and goal situation for Texas Tech on the 4-yard line. And Raiders going to punch another one in. And the handoff up the middle. The Demons close quickly. There's Kenny Williams, the ball carrier.
Jamal White stroked the carrier. Jamal White came from the side and tried to just knock the ball out of the possession. Pretty good job of ball security by Williams.
White's a guy that's 6 foot, 192. Some of the NFL people are going to look at him. Second team all-conference player last year. No fooling around. They hand it off quickly on the pitch. And in for the touchdown is Williams. Kenny Williams. Flag is thrown as Williams, if it stands, will get his first TD of the season.
There are 3 flags on the play. 1 in the middle of the end zone and 2 on the right sideline. One in the end zone, 1 at the 1.5-yard line, and there's another one in the middle of the end zone, in the back line of the end zone. 3 penalty flags thrown on 1 play. I wonder if they all saw the same thing. I tend to doubt it.
We've already had 9
illegal
penalties.
Substitution, defense, the penalties decline. The play resulted in a touchdown.
They all saw the same thing. They all saw the illegal substitution, and Texas Tech now has 3 rushing touchdowns on the evening, and Tommy Tuberville is happy. Not sure the fan base, I think they like to see touchdown passes, but his offensive line took Northwestern State into the end zone. When you move people 4 yards off the line of scrimmage inside the 5-yard line, you take their bodies into the end zone. That's easy to score for running back. Running backs love that when the Big Hawks do that.
Bustin out of Kilgore Junior College on for the PAT. Takes care of business. And it's 21-3 as Texas Tech got it going here in the second quarter. Williams for the TD. Welcome back. Seth Dagey gets officially his first TD pass of the season. 130 yards passing so far tonight. Raiders in control 21-3. Let's send it down to Emily Jones with more about the outstanding signal caller of the Red Raiders.
Well, you guys have talked about his maturity, how he's gained confidence, and he also gained some pretty big brownie points with his teammates in the offseason. He wrote a letter to each one of his teammates, basically telling each one of them what he appreciated about them and how he enjoyed playing with them and what he expected of each one of them this season. His teammates basically said it sent a huge message to them as to his dedication to this team, and that he was really the leader of this team, and that this is Seth Dagey's team to guide the rest of the way, guys.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about him. Thanks, Emily. Here's a guy that missed his last 2 years of high school football with devastating knee injuries. Started for the first time in 5 years last year. He knows what it means to go the distance and to finish, and wanted his teammates to understand, I think, that's what it's going to take, fellas. I want you to all come along on the ride.
And he's good off the field as well. He'll get out of Texas Tech with 2 degrees by the time he's done playing football.
Yeah.
He's a smart cat. And, you know, and he's the hardest worker on the team. So when your best player is also your hardest worker, that's a good dynamic. When your best player has got as good a character as you can have and is top shelf in that regard, that's 1 + 1 = 3. That's good synergy.
Just appreciates the opportunity to go play and compete. He'll be getting his master's in December in sport and exercise science after already picking up his degree a year ago. And the kickoff goes Northwestern State, and Harvey will down it, and they'll bring it out.
Oh, the scoreboard is starting to indicate that Texas Tech is obviously taking control of things, imposing their will. They're 3 for 3 in the red zone, all touchdowns. 8 for 8 on third down, 17 first downs to 4 for Northwestern State. And it all starts up front, Bill. Texas Tech's offensive line is starting to really control the line of scrimmage. And like we were saying, Dagey did get credit for a touchdown pass. It was a pitch, but if you pitch it forward, it's a forward pass. Even though it looked like an option pitch, it was a forward direction, and he gets a touchdown pass on that ruling.
So with 6:16 to go in the half, Henderson fakes the handoff, keeps the football. Good pursuit again by Texas Tech. He does get a couple yards out of it across the 27. Cody Davis and Delvin Simmons making the tackle.
Nice job by Bullitt He read it. He was patient. And, you know, he knows Henderson can run the football. He just couldn't finish the tackle, but he slowed the tempo and pace of the play up to the point where his teammates rallied to it.
2nd down and 8 from the 27. Henderson keeps again. Nice effort, a little shy of the first down. 3rd and short. Henderson last year set that completion percentage record. Also ran a little bit, 204 yards.
Watch this. Cuts it up inside, makes another one miss. That's a pretty good job. That's pretty good action. He's got some jackhammer feet to him. And you have to basically take that into account. Blake Dees did not close on him fast enough at the linebacker spot.
3rd and 1. Henderson the pitch, and Tech appeared to answer. And it'll be a 4th and 1 as Riley, the carrier, was stopped.
Pretty nicely done. Speed option. Look at all the Tech defenders around the football. Look at all those red jerseys and black helmets. That's pretty impressive. I mean, Art Kaufman must have repped them against the option during training camp. And Northwestern State wants to run the option. They hadn't shown the option last year, but they want to run it a little bit because a lot of teams run it in their conference, and they wanted to work their defense against the option. They wanted to incorporate it into their running game. Texas Tech has stymied the option of Northwestern State tonight. Nice job by Art Kaufman.
Brings on the punter, Russo. Gets off a high, booming kick. Fair catch is called and taken for Texas Tech. Zuzalik does his job back inside the 20-yard line. And with 4:15 to go in the half, Tech will get the football back up 21-3. Russo's a senior from Grand Prairie, Texas. Last year averaged 38 yards a kick.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see if Northwestern State decides to load the box up a little bit more in order to take away some of the running lanes Texas Tech's taking advantage of. If they do that, though, then Tech obviously is capable of throwing the football. So the coaching staff has made the decision. Coach Pivito said, you know what? I don't want to die a fast death. I don't want to die. Let's die, you know, if we're going to get handled, them running the football, let's make them run the football and see if we can do some things. And they're still, Texas Tech spreading them out, but I think they're still going to run it.
1st and 10 from the 18. And Daggy goes to the throwing game and is complete. And nice job done there by the receiver as Grant.
If you're gonna load the perimeter like Northwestern State has been doing and inviting them to run the football inside, you have to be able to match up with that big offensive line. And right now, Northwestern State is having difficulty matching up.
And then the foul on defense. And what was it Brad Pivito was telling us closing on a halftime? They've had just 22 plays for 57 yards.
Right.
He gauges his team and their ability to handle the long haul, that they've got to have more plays in the first half because he knows if they don't, they're going to get worn out.
They have to limit the defensive snaps. They have to be well under 50 defensive snaps at halftime. And their offense isn't helping out by too many 3-and-outs.
So Tech now with a penalty, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Daggy just picking them apart. Drops this one off to Alex Torres, a senior from El Paso. Last year had 51 receptions. Torres held out of contact after an injury last year, so they're wondering how his rhythm would be. No problem getting open there. They're also not with the services tonight of Darren Moore, a senior from Irving, Texas, an outstanding player, is being held out. Some disciplinary problems over the offseason. He's not playing in tonight's game.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that because you got to teach a little bit of accountability and responsibility, and the best way to do it is how it's being handled by the Texas Tech coaches.
Torres, just one of a number of great receivers they've got here that he's got skins on the wall. I mean, last year, honorable mention, all-conference pick for Alex, and 51 receptions, had 4 touchdowns. And like Daggy, he's another guy that's graduated already. So they're veterans. On the offensive side, provides some great leadership. Daggy delivers here, and this is Marquez, the youngster. Another first down and a flag.
Gary Deloche is mixing it up. He rushed 3 and dropped 8 on the snap prior to this. This time he rushed 5 and dropped 6. Texas Tech did a good job of shorting the blitz.
Personal foul. Number 18, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And Claiborne gets nicked for another personal foul. And what happens now is you get frustrated. And Northwestern State has to stay within their schematic and their responsibilities and don't get frustrated. You're out of bounds. You know, you don't have to throw them to the ground, and you get penalized for taking out frustration.
Yeah, well, this is a ball club that's been picked to finish 5th in the Southland Conference. Here in Houston State looked as the team to beat in the SLC. And Northwestern State, knowing there's a huge challenge here tonight, you can't lose your cool. Texas Tech trying to put it to them. 2nd and 4 after that pickup. 6-yard run. Stevens sets up again.
Have to be pleased with Texas Tech's offensive line if you're the O-line coach.
Daggy looking deep. Can't. Out of bounds. Incomplete.
Gave it a shot. You know, you have to have faith and trust in your receivers. Does he have possession, foot in bounds? That's got to be, it got knocked out at the end, but he already went to the ground. It was kicked out by the defender late. Possession to the ground, and then it's kicked out late. They may, the angle that we saw earlier, this may have to be reviewed. Every play is reviewed in college football. They may want to take another look at this. Possession goes to the ground, left elbow, right elbow hits, and then the foot kicks it out by the defender. They decide to move on.
Fans want to review. They just saw the replay on the big screen. The Tech goes right back to work, and they hit Jace Amaro. And Amaro moves the chains as Daggy connects. Sorrell makes the stop for the Demons. Texas Tech on the march here with inside 2 minutes to go before the half.
College football and the NFL have done a lot of things similarly by rule. And in the NFL, that's not a completion. It used to be in college football. You have to go to the ground, and when you hit the ground, maintain full possession of the football to complete the catch. And they've gone on the same line in a lot of those areas of calls being made.
And here's the balance of first downs, including penalties included there, that has helped Texas Tech. Stevens got wrestled down. No, not yet.
Boy.
Now, if that guy has any concern about his knees,
right,
he's going down, right? He's fighting for everything he can get.
And I think Tommy Tuberville may say to him, hey, you know what? Don't try to hit a home run every time. Yeah. That one's just going to be a single. You know, just take the single because you're going to put yourself in a precarious situation there.
3 yards on the play, and 2nd and 7. And a timeout is called here by Texas Tech. The Raiders want one more touchdown here before the end of the half, as Texas Tech still has 2 timeouts remaining. We have 1:27 to go here after last year's 5-7 season. Tuberville in his 3rd year here, 13-12 after the first 2 seasons. His 17th year overall, and of course his years at Auburn where he had that undefeated season, and he's anytime BCS playoff and that talk comes up, you talk to Tommy Tuberville about just go unbeaten and you'll get a shot, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. That didn't work.
Well, he's a little bit over 500 at Tech. Of course, had the disappointing season last year. 18 straight bowl games was snapped. They lost 4 games at home for the first time since 1990. They lost 4 home conference games for the first time since 1984. He knows his defense has got to get better, and his running game has to be a factor. And he's seeing both of them improve tonight. 2nd
down and 7 now. Ball is deflected, I believe, and incomplete. So it'll be a 3rd down now. Clock stops with 1:23 to go. Plenty of time for the Red Raiders.
And watch the coaches. Here you have this play is being signaled in from the sideline. You have 4 coaches, and oh boy, and they're all giving signals. Okay, which one's the true signal? There's 3 false calling, and there's one that's live, and Daggy has to sort it out and communicate it. And on the other side of it, Northwestern State saying, who's the guy?
How much more complicated can we make it? And an incompletion. That's the first 3rd down that they failed on tonight. They'd hit on their first 10. And with 1:19 to go, we'll see if Buston comes on for the field goal attempt. At Kilgore Junior College last year, he was a punter as well, and he hit 13 field goals. His longest was 49.
And they were perfect in the red zone. 3 touchdowns, 3 opportunities. That streak's over, as well as the third down conversion streak. But 3 out of 4 is not bad, and 10 for 11 is not bad on third down either. 31-yarder for Buston, and his kick is certainly strong enough, and it is good. And Texas Tech gets a 3 spot here with 1:15 to go in the second quarter. Red Raiders 24, Northwestern State 3. Welcome back, 24-3 Texas Tech as we close in on halftime. Elsewhere in the Big 12 today, Iowa State won its opener over Tulsa. Tulsa was actually favored in that game 38-23. West Virginia pounded Marshall. Get back to that in a moment. Here's Harvey on the return. Slips a tackler and is stopped at the 15-yard line. West Virginia beat Marshall 69-34. Wyoming leads Texas early, 9-7 in the first quarter down in Austin. Oklahoma State is blanking Savannah State 49-0. Late second quarter. Seat squirmer going on there.
Now there are some guaranteed wins in there, aren't there? Kansas is leading South Dakota State 10-7 halftime. Kansas State just 9-6 at the half over Missouri State. Right here, Red Raiders 24, Northwestern State 3. Henderson, 1st and 10 from his own 15, runs the football. I'll remind you at halftime, we'll have stats, highlights. We'll also have a chance to visit with Texas Tech Athletic Director Kirby Hocutt. Also, I want to remind you that following our game tonight, make sure you tune to Fox Sports Southwest for Oklahoma and UTEP. That'll be the closing action for Saturday night. Don't forget, Baylor has SMU on Sunday night, and that game could be more interesting than maybe Bear fans would like.
No question. Only 1 timeout for New Mexico, or for Northwestern State, so I think they're just saying let's go in and regroup at halftime. That bad field position, don't even bother with this timeout. Texas Tech has a couple that they could burn, but Tommy Tuberville's feeling the same way. It's it's 24-3. Let's go in at halftime and talk over what we did well, talk over adjustments we have to make for the second half.
Yeah, Red Raiders. A little slow start. They had the pick that Daggy lost on the interception, but they were able to block a field goal attempt on that possession by Northwestern State. And then here in the second quarter, they have certainly got it going with a couple of touchdowns and a field goal, and they lead it comfortably 24-3 at intermission. And we'll send it down to Emily Jones, who's standing with Tommy Tuberville.
Thank you very much. Well, Coach, I'm wondering if perhaps the best stat is 0 injuries in the first half of play for your guys?
That's a huge improvement from last year, but I'm proud of the defense. You know, we played pretty good against the run. We were last in the country last year versus the run, and that's been a big emphasis for us all the way through 2 days, and then, of course, running the ball, too. Seth was a little bit jacked up early, overthrew a couple of balls, but you know, we just need to get a little bit more balance, and we're looking pretty good.
51 plays already from the offense.
Yeah, and that goes with running the ball, keeping their defense out on the field, and keeps us a little bit fresher on the field.
Coach, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half.
All right, thanks to Emily, and thanks to Tommy Tuberville. The access as the Red Raiders 24, the Demons of Northwestern State out of Louisiana 3. We are at the half on Fox College Football. Welcome back. Beautiful sunset here in Lubbock, Texas, and so far so good if you're a Red Raider fan. As Texas Tech in control, 24-3 is our halftime score. Texas Tech leading Northwestern State, the Demons, out of the Southland Conference. I'd like to welcome you back. I'm Bill Land alongside Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director here at Texas Tech. Exciting time of year, Kirby. I know you're like the rest. It'd be good to get this first one under your belt, but a good crowd tonight. Good performance so far by the Red Raiders.
It has been. The beginning of fall and the kickoff of the college football season is one of the best times of the year. And our volleyball team is off to a 7-0 start. Our soccer team's off to a 5-0 start. And football is off to a great first half. So it's an exciting time of the year.
For you as a former player, do you get a little more jacked for a football game and sometimes you have to calm yourself down a little bit, or are those days gone by?
Well, physically, they've passed me by a long time ago. I don't know if I ever had it physically, but there's something special about a college football Saturday, and there's nothing that brings a university family together, community together like this game does. So I enjoy Saturdays in the fall.
Well, we've had the opportunity to enjoy already one of the participants in the Ring of Honor, and Donnie Anderson, and of course Emily Jones going to have a chance to interview the others a little bit later on, Parks and Holla. But tell us about that whole process, because I know people here are really excited about that.
Well, it's an opportunity to look back at those who came before us and establish the foundation that we stand on today, and honor our success and celebrate the success that this program has had. And we're excited that in December, Gabe Rivera is going to be our 4th inductee into the National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame. So another point of pride for the Red Raiders.
You know, one of the other things that is exciting, I think, here for Texas Tech fans is you've designated every game during the home schedule as a special day and doing some rather neat things with it other than just your normal promotions.
Well, we are, and I'm looking forward to the New Mexico game. It's the Celebrate Cotton game. Cotton is the main fabric of one of our country's main fabrics, and it's what makes us special in West Texas. And we're going to honor the farming community, the cotton industry, and those who do so much to clothe America, and I'm looking forward to that. And then the game against Texas is going to be our Texas Pride game. We're going to unveil a special uniform that Under Armour has provided for us for that game, so that's going to be a special one as well.
Before I let you go, your thoughts on the Big 12 now with West Virginia and TCU coming in here. Boy, there are no easy pickets.
Stronger than ever. To bring in 2 conference champions is going to be exciting. We've got West Virginia at home this year. We go to Fort Worth, which is going to be a great rival for Texas Tech, and excited about the leadership of Bob Bowlesby. I think Bob's going to come in, and the future of the Big 12 Conference is bright, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Well, things are looking very bright here at Texas Tech as well. We appreciate your time and your hospitality. Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks for being here.
All right, stay with us. We'll take a brief time out. Big fella will be back with me, Dave Lapham. Stats and highlights still to come. Texas Tech in control on the scoreboard. Welcome back. Texas Tech controlling Northwestern State 24-3. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Emily Jones, and the crew with you here in Lubbock. And we'll take a look at the statistical story here. And as we mentioned, Texas Tech got to go into that second quarter, and they are controlling the game.
They are. And look at the bottom stat. 3rd down conversions. It all starts there. They pitch a shutout. Texas Tech's defense does against Northwestern State. 0 for 5. Texas Tech's offense almost 1,000, almost batted 1,000, 10 out of 11. And that influenced time of possession because one team offense can't stay on the field, the other team's does. And you got a big time of possession differential. That leads to first down differentials. That leads to yardage differential. And that leads to a 21-point advantage for one and a deficit for the other. It all started to mushroom from the king domino, 3rd down.
We'll see if Northwestern State's got an answer. We'll take a brief time out. Watching Fox College football from Lubbock. Welcome back to Lubbock. Beautiful evening after a hot day. And Texas Tech got hot in the second quarter to pace this one to a 24-3 lead over the Demons of Northwestern State. We'll take a look at some of the first half highlights. Obviously, most of them for the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Absolutely. They take the field. They're ready to roll. Northwestern State is jacked up. And Seth Daigie's a little bit jacked up to start the game. The ball sails on him. The first possession of the game for Texas Tech ends in an interception. Nice pass rush by Texas Tech throughout the first half. They deflected a couple of balls at the line of scrimmage. This is a sight for sore eyes for Tech fans. 11 rushes for 49 yards for Eric Stevens Jr., including that touchdown. This was the only points on the board for Northwestern State. Their honorable mention All-American kicker getting it done. And there goes Stevens again for his 2nd touchdown rushing on the half. Looked very, very good. That knee not a factor at all. Touchdown pass for Daigie. 2 catches for 22 yards for Kenny Williams. That one a touchdown reception. 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown.
If you'd like to be part of the
red zone, 3 touchdowns and a field goal for Texas Tech.
Red Raiders getting pretty much whatever they want. We'll see if halftime means anything to the Demons and they can come up with a plan to get back into this one. We'll have that in just a moment. Ah, yeah, that corn.
grilled corn with a little garlic butter. That dog will hunt all day, every day.
Fox College football presented by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. By Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day.
Man, corn on the cob, Whataburger. I'm getting hungry again.
Oh, they're just teasing us up here. We got us locked in this booth. Beautiful night for football here in the South Plains of West Texas with the hometowners from Lubbock, Texas Tech, leading at 24-3 over Northwestern State. The Demons coming off a 5-6 campaign a year ago with Brad Pivoteau.
Thank you very much. Well, Coach, they ran 51 plays in the first half. I know you would like to get your defense off the field quicker.
Well, you know what? We had way too many personal fouls, and I thought we were giving great effort, but we can't have that to sustain drives. And also, third down conversion. They were 10-11 on third down. We got to get off the field. If we can eliminate the penalties, get off the field on third down, we're in this ball game, no doubt about it. We got to come out offensively, sustain some drives, establish the run, and move the football.
What do you tell your team at the half?
Hey, we're in this game. We just got to stop the foolish penalties, get off the field on third down, sustain drives. Hey, let's go get after it. Let's go win the game.
Coach, thanks for the time. We appreciate it, guys. Back up to you.
Gotta love the enthusiasm of Brad Pivoteau, and I would expect his team will come out fired up after that kind of delivery he just gave to Emily.
Absolutely. I mean, his feeling is he came here to win it. And Marshall didn't get that done against West Virginia, did they?
No, West Virginia, 650 yards plus of offense. Tulsa was favored, but loses against the Big 12's Iowa State in Ames. Oklahoma State, could they get 100 tonight? Probably if they wanted against Savannah State. Kansas struggling in the early going in the debut of Charlie Weiss against South Dakota State. How about Missouri State? They gave Kansas State fits before.
They have, and look at this. Wyoming still leading Texas 9-7. What, an 82-yard touchdown pass is their touchdown that play in that game. It is early in the football game, and later on tonight, Oklahoma, UTEP. How about Paul Rhodes, though, at Iowa State, Bill? I mean, Paul Rhodes, to me, it was very, very smart of Iowa State to extend. He gave him a 10-year extension, I think.
He should if they didn't.
No, well-deserved. I mean, he's got that Iowa State Cyclone program on the right path.
You see those two at the bottom, both on Fox Sports. Oklahoma and UTEP tonight, 9:30 on Southwest. And also Baylor and SMU on Sunday. And SMU a little bit different flavor because their quarterback used to be at Texas. So he knows a little something about playing. Of course, we're talking about Gilbert. Now, here, we'll see how Northwestern State reacts to what Brad Pivoteau was talking about, because, first of all, they got to get the football back. They'll kick it off to start the second half as Texas Tech on the receiving end and it sails out of the end zone, and it'll come out 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders.
I thought what he talked about is, we discussed a little bit, some frustration penalties. You know, Texas Tech is good enough. You don't have to help them with self-destruction penalties, and that'll cause coaches to have gray hair or no hair as they pull it out of the roots, by the roots.
Yeah, those 7 penalties and 76 yards to a guy like Daggy, who goes, he didn't have 462 yards. He might when the night's over, but Seth Daggy, really just that old, whatever the defense had given, he was willing to take. He had 162 yards passing. He had the 1 interception, 1 TD. They ran the football to set things up nicely, and here he fakes the pass and hands it off to start things with Stevens, who had a couple of touchdowns in that first half.
He loses his helmet, he has to exit.
White makes the tackle.
And boy, these helmets, it's an issue, and Rose limping off the field. So Stevens has to go off with a helmet issue, and Rose has to go off with a hitch in the get-along. And he's a 2-time All-American, trying to be the 3-time All-American in conference history, and the second one at Northwestern State, following our boy Gary Reasons.
Yeah, Gary had that Iowa State-Tulsa game today, the one-time Demon and former NFL standout. This one incomplete, and 3rd and long now for Daggy and the Raiders, trying to connect with Torres that time. Sullers, the breakup on the play.
And like you mentioned, Bill, this is exactly what Northwestern State wanted to get done. First drive, 1, 2, 3 and out. Get off the field, and like we talked about more than once, Texas Tech 10 for 11 on third down in the first half. Can they convert this 3rd and 9?
Daegu threw for 4,004 yards last year as a 3rd and 9 at the 26. Stevens zips it up and just short of the first down. He got to the 34.
Williams, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Williams did a nice job of getting to that second level and making a couple of moves, but just shy of the first down marker. And on the 2 consecutive 3rd down scenarios, Texas Tech went 10 for their first 10. Now they're on an 0 for 2 schneid on 3rd down conversions.
So Harvey will be the deep man for the punt return. Harvey, one of 5 FCS players to score on a run, a reception, and a kickoff return last year. He had a 99-yard kickoff return. And this one he lets go. And Northwestern State gets the football back. So first order of business for Brad Pivato's club taken care of. They'll get it 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Like you said to Emily, we got to get off the field defensively. And that's exactly what they did. Now they're going to have to, on the flip side of it, sustain drives on 3rd down. They went 0 for 5 in the first half. Didn't get a whole lot of 3rd down opportunities, but the ones they got, they were unsuccessful.
Senior quarterback Brad Henderson brings them out. Brad Pivato, who deals with the linebackers himself. And on the ground here, well, we talked about at the beginning of the telecast, Texas Tech's defense has to improve. So far, so good in that first half.
And the key was playing the run. Finished dead last in the country against the run, giving up 258 yards a game. And now you stop the run, you can pressure the quarterback, and they did that effectively.
2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. Henderson gives it off, and Robert Walker. Not much to Riley, beg your pardon, on that play, and Bullock Smith there to make the tackle for Texas Tech.
Henderson did a good job of corralling that snap. It was a little bit high in the shotgun. And again, first 3rd down opportunity for Northwestern State presents itself, and it's 3rd and makeable. I mean, it's 3rd down and a long 4. Now that's offensively, you should be able to convert that a good percentage of the time.
25 seconds.
Henderson, 4 of 10 for just 39 yards in the first half, passing-wise. We'll see what he elects to do here. Third and 4 from the 31. He completes it and has the first down. So he finds Harvey. Davis makes the tackle. Harvey on the crossing route. Harvey last year, 82 yards per game, all-purpose yardage.
Give him time, give him separation and vision. He can deliver a good ball. That's a nice pass. And I'll tell you what, Davis always gets his money's worth. That guy is a tackling machine. He will hit you.
Senior out of Stephenville, Texas. Led him last year with 93 tackles. 1st and 10 at the 39 for the Demons. Looking for a hole is Riley, and it ain't there. Ball is loose. They've whistled it dead, to the dismay of Cody Davis.
You know, that's another area where Texas Tech wants to improve. More takeaways. Last year, Bill, they only had 5 interceptions on the entire season, and they came in 2 games. 5 interceptions in 2 games. So, you know, in 10 games, they had no interceptions in the secondary. They want to pressure the quarterback, make him make some bad decisions and throws, and pick it off a few times.
Yeah, they were number 51 in turnover margin, +1 for the season, but that interception has got to change the way the game is played today. 2nd down and 11. Keeper that time by Henderson. Nebo makes the tackle. Eugene Nebo, senior from Odessa, Texas.
Good job by Gilbert, number 88 in that white jersey on the edge, getting himself a little block and sustaining contact to try to get the edge. But now instead of a 3rd and 4, you're looking at 3rd and 8. Much different proposition. This down and distance favors the defense more of a high percentage of the time.
So it's 3rd and 8 from the 41. We'll see what the Demons come up with here. First possession, second half for Northwestern State. And Tech is there as Nebo makes the stop.
Number 32, Robert Walker,
the receiver.
Tackle made by number 13,
and Northwestern State will have to kick it back here, trailing 24-3. The Demons have Arkansas, Monticello next week at home, and then at Nevada on the 15th before they get into Southland action. As Texas Tech is at Texas State next week, a one-year member of the WAC conference. Fair catch is called at the 15-yard line, and that's where Tech will operate when we come back on Fox College Football. Red Raiders with a 24-3 pad over Northwestern State. Ready to go again. Texas Tech will have it 1st and 10. 16-yard line for Seth Dagey and crew. Looking is caught for a couple of yard pickup. Ward, the receiver on the play.
Trying to run that little bubble screen that they run so effectively. And defended pretty well by Northwestern State. Good inside-out pursuit for the football on multiple plays.
Ward had 16 receptions in that season finale loss to Baylor last year. They run it here, and that's number 8, Foster. You know, we haven't talked a lot about all the junior college players they've got here that they think are going to contribute both sides.
No question, Bill. Kenny Williams was key on this one. What do you do without the football? Kenny Williams threw a heck of a block. Watch number 34 throw this block. Boom. Take him to the turf. That's getting it done.
Foster took advantage of it. They come right back, keep it on the ground again, and Williams go ahead and knock somebody down, you get to carry the ball the next time.
That's right. If you're going to be a big dog, let the big dog eat, man. If you're taking people to the turf, reward that man.
So it'll be 2nd and 1 now for the Red Raiders.
I like the physicality in the run game of Texas Tech. Up front, the receivers are blocking well, the backs, it's impressive.
And again, it's working. See if they can stop us as Williams carries the football again, the sophomore from Pflugerville. White, the tackler. Let's send it down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, it was interesting in talking to the coaches about the depth at receiver that they have, and they said they're going to learn a lot over the course of the first 5 or so games because not everyone's going to get catches and not everyone's even going to get targeted. So they said they're really anxious to see the guys that, you know, don't get a lot of attention here in the opener or maybe game 2 or 3, how they respond in practice. So that depth coming into play quite obviously, but the message that they send to the coaching staff based on their reaction to, you know, the amount of balls they get or not, it remains to be seen.
Yeah, and Emily, I think that's a big key. Tonight they're showing they're unselfish. If they're not catching it, they're blocking. That's going to be, I agree with you, a big key. You know, don't have anybody, no I, me. We want we, us, and Seth Dagey finds a lane. The rush lane gets distorted. He burns it for big yards.
Now comes back and hits Gant. Or Grant, I should say, and White makes the tackle. Well, and one of the things that Gary DeLoach, the new defensive coordinator of Northwestern State, was telling us is that, hey, over the years, Tech receivers have always blocked well.
No doubt.
And now there's a little bit different mix because the running game is becoming, at least tonight, much a bigger factor.
And that's going to be key, too. That'll turn a 7-yard run into a 70-yard run if they block on the edge.
Dagey. Here's a bullet this time with a sideline. Marquez, the reception, and steps out of bounds. What a throw and what a catch.
Yeah, Claiborne has to be impressed as the cornerback here because the ball is in the air. When the plants the foot and gets the separation, the ball's already in the air. Claiborne, you got to finish that one. You can't kind of give up on it in disgust. What if he stays in bounds and turns it upfield? You got to go finish that play, make sure that choke it down, make sure that he finishes that thing and doesn't stay in bounds.
Yeah, Marquez had a look like of what you're saying. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I had room there. I should have tried to stop, turn it up.
Yeah.
So Dagey delivers this one is incomplete, trying to come back to Marquez.
The ball comes out of Dagey's hand very, very nicely, and it all starts with footwork. Both of these quarterbacks tonight, their coaches grind on footwork. Anything you do athletically starts with your feet, ends with your hands. Whether you're hitting a baseball, shooting a basketball, whatever you're doing, throwing a football, catching, your feet get you in position, and then you finish with your hands. You have to have both. And here we go. Now, if you're at the plate, and all those third base coaches give you a signature, you're in trouble.
Well, those guys know a football coach who doesn't work out, they can always coach third.
Right.
Here is Williams as he comes across and gets to the 18. Paul White makes the tackle here. And Johnson also, the other thing, Emily brought up the depth of this team just in general. If they can get what they want tonight, they'll try to play everybody they can to find out what kind of depth they've really got, Dave.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves snaps, and they should get them. And that's the thing, Bill. If you've got guys that are working hard at practice, the coaches will create packages for you. Sometimes the good teams don't have 11 starters. They have 18 guys on offense and 18 guys on defense they can count on. And that's what Tommy Tuberville wants, is depth. He's had 2 top 25 recruiting classes. This last year was in the top 20. He signed 11 junior college transfers. He has added to the depth immeasurably. And this coaching staff will get a lot of players on the field if it's warranted by their performance in practice.
So they bring on Buston now, trying a 36-yard field goal attempt. Hit a 31-yarder in the final minute 15 of the first half. And this one, plenty good.
He's lefty, obviously. He was 47 for 51 with pressure field goals in camp. I mean, he responded.
And Texas Tech tacks on another 3. 27-3, Texas Tech over Northwestern State. Texas Tech will kick it off here with 6:16 to go in the third quarter after the field goal that was successful by Buston. Dave told you about his prowess junior college, and boy, special teams big for both these teams. Texas Tech looking good in the kicking game with the work that Buston has shown so far. And Harvey trying to escape the horde of tacklers, gets it out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. And Brad Henderson will go to work. Let's take a look at the Academy Right Stuff player for Northwestern State. It is Brad Henderson, the senior from Starkville, Mississippi. Hasn't had a lot of success tonight, but he also hasn't made the big mistake. They're still in this game if they can get something going.
Yeah, 50%, 47 yards. Quarterback's only as good as his supporting cast. He has not put his team in jeopardy with interceptions, fumbles in the pocket. He's been sound there.
Timeout is called here. We will take a break as well with 6:09 to go in the third. We'll be right back in a moment.
You're watching Fox College Football, presented by Texas Tech University.
You hear the cowbells, you know you're in Lubbock, as Texas Tech been ringing it pretty good themselves tonight. 27-3 over Northwestern State. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Emily Jones with you here at Jones AT&T Stadium. It's 1st and 10 from the 26 for Northwestern State, and the Demons go to the airways and complete as Davis makes the tackle on the play.
That was their 32nd offensive snap. They picked up 6 yards, so it's 78 yards on 32 offensive snaps. That's pretty good defense out of Texas Tech. Art Kaufman and Tommy Tuberville have to be excited.
Nims, the receiver there. Yeah, Tech, on the other hand, 64 plays, 318 yards of offense. There's the Wildcat, and Chasaw hands it off on this play. Nothing doing for Robert Walker.
Robert Walker, the ball carrier.
Well, on third down, here we are in a third and makeable situation again. Northwestern State is doing a much better job on first and second down. They're 2 for 8 now on third down. They were 0 for 5 in the first half. They're 2 for 3, their last 3 on that first drive of the second half. See if they can convert this third and short or not.
Yeah, and just looking for things to improve and get better and see if they can get a touchdown, and then you start getting a little confidence. But one step at a time for the Demons, and Tech's defense has been answering tonight. 3rd and 3. Henderson completes this one for the first down. Move the chains out past the 42-yard line. Reception on the play by Oye. Louis Oye, the senior from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Ran a good route, and he was rewarded. Tell you what, Henderson throws a very accurate football. I mean, his mechanics, when he sets his feet, he's got a very, very nice throwing motion, and he's got a short throwing motion. The ball gets out of his hand pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah, their leading receiver a year ago, 33 grabs, 243 yards, and had 3 touchdowns. And played much of the season with a fractured knee. You saw, has trouble there on the snap and a loss on the play. He was fortunate to just grab the football. Brad Chassaw, the redshirt freshman from Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Well, Caleb Stanfield, the first time he was in the Wildcat, he rolled it back to him. This time he almost snapped it over his head. So Caleb Stanfield, it's tough for a center, though. He's snapping it and blocking back. So, you know, you have to snap it and make your first step while you're snapping it, and it's a shotgun snap to boot. But Caleb Stanfield, it's his first game at center. He moved from a guard position, and here it is on the road.
He's a junior from Natchitoches. It's 2nd and 16 now, and Henderson back in, and he is tripped up. And Texas Tech's defense is fired up.
Nice job. The whole pocket collapsed on him. It was just a bull rush, and Hyder, I think, is going to get credit for the sack. But everybody just gets up the football field and bull rush, and Hyder bull rushes his tackle right into the quarterback and then finishes it. I tell you, he's got a little bit of athleticism and movement.
Well, remember, they've given themselves the name the Chain Gang, and that's doing it together. And that's kind of what that sack was. It was a group effort that created the offensive pocket to fall apart. So on a 3rd and 20, a pass out in the flat. And Tech smells that out quickly as Cody Davis, who's already had now 9 tackles tonight, just a 2-yard gain for the receiver Robert Walker. 4th down and a punting situation for Northwestern State.
Well, Texas Tech gave up a first down, and they said that's the end of the journey. You know, quarterback sack, puts them off schedule. Northwestern State's off schedule at that point, and the defense gets off the field again. Nick
Russo, the low snap, handles the punt. McRoy is the deep man. He gets away from it. And it takes a demon roll. And they get back to cover it inside the 5, all the way down inside the 1-yard line.
That's why, as a return guy, you never let it hit the ground. You try to catch the football, because if it hits the ground, tragedy can occur.
So, how will Tech handle this? We'll find out in a moment. Welcome back, as the Red Raiders defense has certainly answered tonight. They have held Northwestern State to 81 yards of offense with just 2:25 to go in this 3rd quarter. Now the offense starting inside their own 1-yard line after that punt by Russo. And they go to Jay Samaro to get them a little breathing room.
Well, this game, Bill, has been decided by the big people at Texas Tech. Offensive and defensive lines have imposed their will. They put their big boy pads on tonight up front, offensively and defensively. And it's the big fellas that have determined the tempo and set the standard in this football game.
10-yard pickup and a first down here. And the handoff is Stevens back in, goes to work once again, comes off the left side, rolls to the 17-yard line.
I think Northwestern State's defense is starting to wear down a little bit. They were on the field for over 50 snaps in the first half. That's pacing for a 100-snap night. You just don't have enough bodies to be able to withstand that kind of repetition.
2nd and 4 from the 17. Not much happening on that play as Stevens is brought down after the carry. About the 19, got a couple. This drive coming after the 64-yard punt by Russo from Northwestern State. But I imagine Tommy Tuberville, not like you want to start inside your own one, but say, all right, let's see what we can do now.
It's situation football, Bill. In practice, you practice being backed up, you practice the red zone, you practice first and goal situations, you practice 2-minute drill. They have a package of plays ready for that exact thing.
3rd and 2, and they get the first down. Doesn't look like it as the Demons.
Lost the ball.
Fumble.
Yeah.
Let them unpile.
Stevens lost the football, and coming out of the pack, holding it with pride is Patrick Black, the linebacker.
So the turnover, second of the night for Texas Tech.
And again, Eric Stevens trying to hit a home run on every snap. Right here, you know what? Make sure you secure the football, but that is a great hit coming from the outside by Booker. Man, the safety came in there and just put his helmet and shoulder pad right on the football as Stevens spun in his direction.
Now, Booker, an honorable mention all-conference pick. He had 77 tackles last year, blocked a couple of kicks as well, comes up with a big play, and then Black with the recovery. And now, for the first time tonight, they're in the red zone.
Yep, short field
for Northwestern State.
Yep. Oh!
And Tech answers with a sack of Henderson. The Red Raiders, DJ Johnson, leading the way.
Well, Art Kaufman said, okay, you're in the red zone for the first time. Time to heat it up. I'm bringing the blitz. And look at the pressure. He brings 6 people, and one of them breaks free. And that is DJ Johnson coming off the edge. Very aggressive call by Art Kaufman, and it paid dividends.
Senior out of Austin, big believer of that chain gang mentality. Didn't need any help that time. This one,
another deflection.
Yeah, and that Tech defense, all they needed was a turnover to get them excited. So, all right, offense had a little problem. We'll answer, fellas.
Hyder had a sack, and now he deflects the pass. Get your hand up, boom. Hyder blocks it with that left hand. That's the third pass broken up by the defensive ends. It's
Jackson had a couple.
Yeah, he had 2 in the first half.
So it's 3rd and 18 now for Henderson and the Demons, and they are at the 27 of Texas Tech. Henderson in trouble again and brought down. Another loss on the play. This one of a couple appears. And Simmons was there for a 2-yard loss. Hyder also putting pressure on him.
Got an injury. Texas Tech injured player at the 34-yard line. But Art Kaufman has to love this. How does the Bullitt missed the sack, and then as he missed the sack, it looks like an upper body injury. Looks like he hurt his upper body, either a shoulder or an elbow or something, as he tried to make a one-arm tackle, and as Henderson ripped free. Watch Bullitt. He tries to rip at him right here, and then, right now, oh, man, I'm hurt. He kind of ripped his, did something to that left shoulder. He's trying to shake it off, but there he is. It's in that almost that sling position already, so some kind of problem with that shoulder. But Art Kaufman, okay, adversity, guys. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. How are you going to respond, defense? All right, all of a sudden it's 4th down at the 29-yard line, and they have to attempt a 46-yard field goal. That is responding to adversity defensively. Art Kaufman has to be thrilled, as well as Tommy Tuberville.
End of the quarter coming up here. They will not get the field goal attempt off, and Shaughnessy will get that attempt as we come back for the 4th quarter. And Bullitt, body language did not look good as he is helped off. Texas Tech 27-3. Welcome back as John Shaughnessy for Northwestern State trying to tee one up from 46 yards away for a field goal attempt. His club down 27-3. It's a 4th and 20. This kick is long enough and is good. So Shaughnessy, the all-conference kicker out of the Southland, senior from Shreveport, gets his second. He had a 47-yarder earlier, and it's a 27-6 ball game.
Well, it goes as a red zone possession because they took their first snap at the 19-yard line, although it was a quarterback sack, but they get a field goal out of their only red zone possession of the night. Pretty good defensive stand right there. And Tommy Tuberville wanted to see his defense shut down the running game. Northwestern State has 23 rushes for 6 yards. Wow. Texas Tech 34 lugs for 137. So they've run it, and they've stopped the run. They've outgained Northwestern State by 131 yards on the ground.
27-6. Got a moment. Let's check in with Emily with more about the injury with Terrence Bullitt.
Yeah, not good news for Terrence Bullitt. It's that left shoulder, which he had surgery for in the offseason to repair. He actually missed spring ball because of that shoulder, so it looks as if he has re-aggravated that injury. We'll pass on more if we get it, but he will not be returning to the game.
That's a tough break, Emily. Man, you hate to see guys, particularly in the opener, you work so hard after surgery, rehab, and he get caught in a situation and didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Tech last year with 18 surgeries.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that every time someone goes down here, people are going, uh-oh, it's not going to happen again. And
that has to be an NCAA record. 18 surgeries in one season. That is crazy.
Well, Bradley Marquez, we talked about him, what kind of play he's had. He's our Academy Right Stuff player for Texas Tech.
He runs great routes, good hands, and he's got a very, very strong body. He's been a factor in special teams as well. He almost blocked a punt. He's done a lot of things right for Texas Tech tonight, offensively and on special teams. He's going to be a factor as this season rolls on.
Marquez, sophomore from Odessa, 5'11", 201. Boy, speed, strong, the whole package.
Playmaker.
Baseball player, you know it catch.
Yeah.
First and 10 from the 25. Nice grab by O'Mara, and he shows his size and pulls away as Jace O'Mara comes from Michael Brewer. Brewer getting his first work here in the fourth quarter. The redshirt freshman quarterback from Lake Travis.
This guy is 6'5", 260 O'Mara, and watch him. 6'5", 260, makes two miss, and then turns it up the football field. It's amazing how athletic these big people are getting these days.
20-yard pickup. And Michael Brewer getting his first work after redshirting last year. Hands it off here. And look at Williams as he bursts up the middle. Goes inside the 40 down to the 38 of Northwestern State where Keelan Johnson brings him down.
Yeah, and depth. We talk about depth at a lot of spots. Texas Tech feels good about the depth at the quarterback position as well. This one's just blocked out very, very well up front by the offensive line.
17 yards on that play. First and 10 at the 38. Brewer delivers this one and complete out on the flat. That'll move the chains again as, can you tell, some guys are getting in the game that have been anxious.
Yeah, Michael Brewer, 6'1", 183-pounder, very athletic. And, you know, Tommy Tuberville wants to see how this kid throws the football under pressure, you know, with the lights on, major college football.
Jordan Davis, sophomore from Arlington, Texas, made that reception, picked up 14, first and 10 at the 24 now. And the handoff to Williams. Now, Brewer was a part of 4 state title teams at Lake Travis. His family is entrenched in college football. His dad, Robert, of course, played at the University of Texas. His uncle, Robert, played at Texas Tech. He's also had a grandfather that played college football. So it is in the genes, and he's off to an impressive start to his career at Texas Tech.
Look at him just surveying the football field to get pre-snap reads.
Second and 10 at the 24. Oh, watch out. He got clobbered, and teammates smothered the football.
Nice recovery of the football by a big boy up front. Gets his paws on that thing. That's McDaniel at right tackle. And he feels like he better because he was involved in the pressure. But bring the blitz off the edge. And that's Burke White, the other safety. Pretty good football player himself. And he came on the pressure right next to the defensive end.
Loss of 7 makes it 3rd and 17.
Timeout Northwestern State.
And the Demons realizing they can ill afford to give much up here if they're going to have any chance to come back. Down 21, but 12:49 to go. They call a timeout. We'll take a break as well. On Fox College Football, the Red Raiders 27, the Demons 6. Following the Northwestern State timeout, Texas Tech facing a 3rd and 17 offensively. Ball on the Demons' 31-yard line. And see what Brewer and crew come up with. A little draw play action this time. Spinning forward is Williams again. Takes it down to the 20-yard line where Pat Black tackles him.
Yeah, and Tyler Smith got a little bit of a lick on him as well as he spun away there. He takes his feet out from under him. In that white jersey, Tyler Smith, pretty good effort.
Picks up 11, sets up the field goal attempt. And that'll bring on Ryan Buston. And now, timeout Texas Tech.
Their first charge of the second half.
We'll see if didn't look like they had the unit on the field they wanted.
Yeah.
Who knows what Tommy Tuberville and crew are thinking.
I don't think it's time to just say, all right, we don't want to put any more points on the board. We're just going to go for it on 4th down, and if you can stop us, stop us. If you can't, we'll continue the drive. I don't think he's going to take the field goal unit off the field.
Well, Buston stays on, and it's a pretty quick time out there. So whatever it was, they got it settled quickly, and Erxleben, the punter, is the holder.
Didn't see any personnel changes. They stayed in that huddle about, inside the numbers,
So it's a 37-yard field goal attempt. And Buston, plenty of leg for that one. And Buston had a 31, a 36, now a 37. And Texas Tech makes it 30-6. We have 12-14 remaining on college football here on Fox. Welcome back. It's Texas Tech 30, Northwestern State 6. Bill and Dave Lapham, Emily Jones with you here as the Red Raiders, following the field goal by Buston, is 3 for 3 tonight, as long as the last one of 37. And they will kick it off with 12-14 to go. Crowd tonight officially listed as 50,236. Many of them headed to continue with the tailgating that you've seen.
Little Labor Day celebration, Labor Day weekend.
Send some of that barbecue up our direction. Kickoff comes to Harvey, and Harvey breaks a tackle on another one. It comes out of the bunch at the 30 and across the 36-yard line. Philip Harvey. Nice job by Philip Harvey III, the senior from Lancaster, Texas.
Yeah, Philip Harvey doing a great job of finding lanes, being patient, pressing the blocking. Can't arm tackle him. You have to wrap him up and take him to the turf. He was only a little over 90 yards shy of setting a school record for kickoff returns. I don't think he's there yet tonight. He hasn't really, but this is the longest by far, but he's going to set a new record probably next week as a kickoff returner in his career at Northwestern State.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Demons at the 36 as Henderson, boom, and just got rid of it in time. Tech is right there, though, to swallow up the ball carrier. We've been giving you some updates on some Big 12 action here on this opening weekend of college football. That's in the 4th quarter with like 12 and a half to go. Oklahoma State 77-0. They had 623 yards of total offense last time we checked.
That's a character-building game for Savannah State.
Oh, wow. They've had 108 yards of offense.
Golly.
Henderson, good time, and couldn't complete that one out in the flat, as was Kendrick Johnson's intended receiver. Makes it a 3rd and 10.
You know, the good thing for Tommy Tuberville and Art Kaufman and Neil Brown, they've been able to get a lot of people into the fray and evaluate them with some live snaps and really, test that depth. It's been good for them.
3rd and 10 here, and Henderson gets tomahawked from behind, loose football, and we'll see if it's a fumble or a forward pass that's incomplete. Henderson is signaling such, as you would expect. The officials let the play finish, though.
I think Micah Awe got it from the backside. I mean, he steps up, there comes Awe, strip. Tomahawk chop, strip. It was Michael Awe off the blind side, off the edge, and punted away. Maintain possession of it. Boy, you're taught. You rip it out of there. If he doesn't feel or see you coming, rip the ball out.
And the punt by Russo. And that 60-plus yarder. Booms this one. Zuzalek escapes the defender, scoots up the sideline, and he's looking to step out of bounds and takes it out to the 35 or more. And the crowd here still chanting Zoo.
Right,
the
that's
veteran.
Not Boo, that's Zoo. But boy, that was a nice tight spin, a little pirouette right here. Whoops, see ya. take it to the sideline, get what I can get, make a couple more miss. Good effort right there.
Special knack for those return guys, and they don't get near enough credit unless they take it to the house. People sometimes don't realize how they can turn a game around, sometimes by just not fumbling or making the tough, fair catch, or even a play like that where he takes 0 and turns it into 14.
A guy right in your face and to spin like that, you have to have courage to catch it.
First and 10 at the 37.
Sadale Foster, the ball
Foster.
Backups in across the board up front, so plenty of guys getting reps with the offensive line. And I think that's where the game was won and lost tonight. Offensive and defensive lines for Texas Tech had the upper hand for sure.
Yeah, there's no question. They have just, as they say, you control the line of scrimmage. Barring huge mistakes, you're going to win the football game, and that's been evident here tonight. And Brewer comes back throwing and completes this one.
Michael Brewer's pass.
Kennard.
Well, you're looking at the next quarterback at Texas Tech. I mean, this guy is, unless they get some high school All-American hotshot, you know, that they're going to be recruiting at the conclusion of this high school season. But Brewer looks like he's got plenty of upside potential to me. He throws on the run very accurately, as he just demonstrated right there out of pocket, changed the launch point.
In his career at Lake Travis, he had an incredible junior year, threw for 4,400 yards and 41 touchdowns. His senior year, he missed 6 games and still threw for 2,800 yards and 26 scores. Granted, they had a terrific team, but you know, he's excited after redshirting last year and being injured part of his senior year in high school to get some playing action here. 2 yards on that play. 2nd and 8 at the 46.
It's a very, very small sampling what Daggy went through. You know, injured in high school, redshirt.
Yeah.
And this isn't quite as extreme, but you know, Daggy can relate to what this young man has to do. You know, and patience and persistence are 2 big attributes to have.
Well, Daggy missed the last 2 years of his high school career. Redshirted in 08, played in 6 games total in 09 and 10 before starting last year. There's Black on the tackle after the completion to Davis. And Brewer looks very sharp in his play so far here in this 4th quarter. 1st and 10 now at the 37.
He's putting the ball in good spots. You know, he's not stringing his receivers out. They trust him. I mean, that's the biggest thing you have to have between receiver and quarterback. Trust and faith.
Well, Texas Tech's recruiting classes have been ranked very high since Tommy Tuberville came here. And another completion here. Obviously, Foster, the receiver there, you got to wait 3 or 4 years to find out because those recruiting services aren't always correct. But he's always had a great reputation as a recruiter. He's excited about his players, and his staff is, and we're seeing some of these youngsters here tonight get a chance. And he said also, last year, because of the injuries, he goes, there were some guys we wanted a red shirt that had to play. And he goes, some of those guys might actually end up redshirting this year before we get back on track.
And one of them is Washington at the running back position. They're going to try to redshirt him, get him back on track. Sadale Foster, who caught the football the snap before this. Tommy Tuberville was very, very high in him, the transfer. Quick fire plug type guy, 5'7", 187 pounds. He's built perfectly for what Texas Tech wants done with their running backs. And I'm telling you, these running backs that are 5'6", 5'7", and 190 to 200 pounds, it's like trying to tackle a quadricep in a pectoral. There's no hitting surface, and man, they can change direction on you. And it's tough to get a square hit on these guys.
3rd and 1 for the Raiders at the 28, and the keeper, Mr. Stevens, and let's see where they spot the football. The crowd that remains obviously wants him to go for it. 7:05 and counting.
And Tommy probably will, rather than line up and kick another field goal, and if they can stop him, so be it. I think he's going to pretty much run it as much as anything now and not run it up.
Go for it here on 4th down. And nice effort by Northwestern State, but not enough to stop the Tech rushing attack as Williams carries the football there and makes it a 1st and 10 at the 26.
Both teams ran a lot of players out on the football field. Both teams showed their depth. Texas Tech had more quality to their depth of players that they ran out there. And you'd expect that it's a Big 12 football team.
I want to remind you, when this one ends, make sure you head to Fox Southwest for more Big 12 action as Oklahoma opens up on the road south of here, quite a ways. Down in El Paso against the UTEP Miners, 9:30 for the kick on that one.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was another deflected ball. Leslie Deemer, the big boy inside, gets his muckers up and just spikes it right to the turf. Looked like a volleyball player with a kill right there. And, man, a lot of defensive linemen getting their hands on the football tonight. A lot of deflected balls at the line of scrimmage.
Impressive. Deemer, 6'3", 288. Very athletic, though. 2nd and 10 at the 26 now for Brewer and the Raiders. The handoff goes to Foster. Not much doing at the 25.
So what they're trying to do is put him in the meat grinder right now. Texas Tech wants to run as many snaps as they possibly can, get work for their reserve offensive players, eat the clock up, and end the football game.
So 3rd and 9 at the 25. And timeout is called by the Demons.
Timeout, Northwestern State. Their second charge of the second half.
Second timeout, Brad Pipito. His defense, you know how he feels. We'll be right back. Fox College Football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. By your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer for the summer sales event. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. Beautiful evening here in Lubbock, Texas. From whatever vantage point. And
how about Neil Armstrong's recent passing? He was an Ohio guy, Cincinnati guy residing there, just passed away this past week. The first man to walk on the moon.
What? And everybody remembers where they were on that day.
Exactly.
5:59 to go here, and Brewers 5 of 6 for 61 yards. Scrambling, gets away from the traffic, and throws it away.
Did they grab his face mask when they took him down?
There's a flag there.
Michael Brewer's pass falls incomplete. Flag on the play.
Roughing the passer. Take a look. It's black, I believe.
It was the All-American Derrick Rose they called. Yeah, Rose gave him a double shot to the chest after the ball was gone, and the officials thought it was too late. Referee standing right there protecting him and moved the chains, and that's going to upset Coach because he thought there were too many personal fouls in the first half, and another one just occurs, and he is chewing out the referee.
Yeah, I think in that timeout, he was telling his defense, get after him.
Right.
And then they do. They're a little too exuberant.
Right.
And it's, again, a fine line with the officials. They're going to protect the players. And yet you've just been told, get after them.
Yeah. Jack Lambert, if he was watching this game, he would say, his famous quote was, quarterbacks, put skirts on them. And that's when you should beat the heck out of the quarterback. He must be disgusted with the rules that exist today for defensive football players.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now from the 13-yard line following that penalty. The incompletion.
Future cheerleader right there wearing a Rangers hat tonight. Texas Tech Red Raiders, yeah, get the guns up.
Rangers have had it going. 2nd and 10 for Brewer and company. Sheriff Daggy sitting out the 4th quarter. And the completion and the touchdown, Texas Tech. Kennard, 13 yards in the TD.
Nice throw. That ball was perfectly placed. Watch the route. Gets the inside release, the inside position. The ball is put right on the money. Big target. Gets inside of the smaller defensive back. Could have let him even a little bit more, but didn't make him break stride at all.
36-6, and that'll bring on Ryan Buston, the sophomore kicker from Kilgore. And Texan knocks it through. 37-6 as Texas Tech. Very methodical, but a dominant performance here tonight. 37-6, 5:46 remaining. Kennard with the TD. Welcome back. Texas Tech 37-6 on that last touchdown. And time for our Whataburger What a Player of the Game. How about Eric Stevens Jr. coming back from the devastating knee surgery? He's done it all tonight.
19 touches of the football for 69 total yards and a couple of touchdowns. And watch him make cuts and run the ball, making a great player, missing space, white the safety, and then he's off to the races once again for his second touchdown. Great night tonight.
And the kickoff. And again, Harvey getting everything he can, and his momentum carries him forward. Stopped around the 18. Let's check in now with Emily Jones.
Well, you guys were talking about Eric Stevens Jr. and Tommy Tuberville really making the running game a point of emphasis for this Texas Tech program. He said the best defender is actually a good running game. You saw it, in action here tonight. The fact that his offense was able to stay on the field for sustained amounts of time kept his defense fresh. And then also, too, it takes the pressure off of Seth Dagey, which he feels like Seth may have had too much pressure on himself last year because they didn't have the luxury of a running game. So really emphasizing the running game as a way to balance everything out, both offensively and defensively.
Absolutely. It's a big key.
Henderson hands this one off on the 1st and 10 with 5:34 to go.
When Stevens was running for 100 yards in 4 of his first 5 games, Texas Tech won 4 of those first 5 games, and then he gets hurt. They beat Oklahoma, and that was fool's gold. They lost 5 in a row, and a big factor, like Emily says, is he's not on the field to eat up the clock, gain first downs, keep the defense off the field, and help his offense.
2nd and 8 now from the 25-yard line for Henderson. Club trailing 37-6. Flag thrown here. Henderson throws it away.
That was a legal motion by Northwestern State. Came flying up to the line of scrimmage and reset himself, basically, and it wasn't set for a full second before the ball was snapped. That should be illegal motion.
Right. Third down.
Yeah, Robert Walker, he comes running up there, and he said, maybe I'll just try to fool him getting a 3-point stance. Watch him. Here he comes. And no, not set for a full second. And it's not Canada. You can't go forward motion, so
yeah,
back you go 5 yards.
Northwestern State 9 penalties. They cleaned it up a little bit here in the second half, and Brad Pivoto's got to be a little happier about that, but I'm sure that'll be a point of emphasis as they get ready for their home opener against Arkansas Monticello next week. Another flag thrown here on this incomplete pass.
It's going to be holding the offensive line.
Flag on the play.
It was a takedown.
Holding for 61 offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Caleb Stanfield, the center. This was his first game at the center position. Wanted to see how he'd react on the road in front of a boisterous crowd. He's hung in there pretty well for the most part.
And they'll bring on the punter, Russo. Russo got his own little TV show, if you will, on YouTube. Check it out. He's quite a character. Fits into that kicker mold. Guy that came as a walk-on, has earned a scholarship. Done a nice job tonight. Another high kick. Flag here as Zuzalek is on the loose again, and he rambles across the 45-yard line. We'll sort out the flag.
Maybe an illegal block in the back that gets Zuzalek going. So, unfortunately for Zoo, it's coming back. Take a look right here. Pushing the back right there. That gets Zuzalek off and running. There's a couple of them that could have been called. If they didn't call the first one, they're definitely calling the second one and moving back from that point.
Contact was incidental. There is no foul in the play.
Really?
First down.
What do you know? Incidental. That's like, I didn't mean it.
Meanwhile, in Stillwater, touchdown Cowboys, 84-0 over Savannah State. Mercifully, it is about over. It's in the final minute and a half.
I had a game similar to that, Bill, back in the 90s. Might have even been late 80s. I did a game, University of Cincinnati, traveled to Penn State, right in the middle of Joe Paterno's good run. He had a really good football team. 81-0. 45-zip at the half, 81-0 final. Oh, my.
Fun for the broadcast.
Oh,
right?
boy, oh, boy.
Think of the losers. Woo.
Yeah.
37-6 here, and Brewer goes to work again. He's been impressive.
Nice.
He was one a little deeper this time, looking for Kennard again, who scored on the last possession.
I thought that was going to stay on the field of play. Showed some arm strength there, but a little bit too much arm strength. Took it off the field of play. You know, you have to let your receiver have an opportunity to make a contested catch on that.
Texas Tech trying to get off on the right foot, and will, after their first losing season in 16 years last year, where they went 5-7. But Tommy Tuberville with a bunch of starters returning, for the most part guys healthy. They lost Bullock tonight. Hopefully, Emily was reporting that shoulder injury won't give him too much trouble and be back soon. But and it's hard to judge against Northwestern State because they are in a different division, but they have done what they should do, and that's dominate the game.
No question about it. I mean, a little shallow cross underneath, puts it right on the money, almost split the defenders to take it to the house. And I think Art Kaufman is going to be pleased with his defensive performance, and even though it's not against, as high caliber opponents they will be facing, it does boost the confidence.
Edwards given the first down on the receiving end of that play. Another flag here.
And this is what happens a lot of times when you do go to backups, finishing the game. LaRaven Clark is the guilty party early movement. And pretty good football player there, though. Basically, Texas Tech offered him early. And Texas's and Oklahoma's of the world didn't think that he was going to get big enough. Well, he did. Then they came after him, and he said, no, I'm staying with Tech. They were the first ones to offer me, so it says something about the kid.
And their evaluation, that they recognize, too, that a player like that is going to continue to grow and fill out.
Yep.
So makes the tackle 3 yards and sets up a 2nd and 12 now. Texas Tech. Is that Texas State next week? Texas State had the early lead against the University of Houston tonight. So it may be and that will be a huge game in San Marcos to have Texas Tech come traveling there. Pass is complete and off to the races again for Texas Tech. Still moving down to the 20-yard line. Marquez.
He added to his good things that he's done tonight. Watch this one. Little bubble screen. Offensive line gets out in front. They're throwing blocks, and he just gets vertical and accelerates. North and south. Square the pads up and get up the football field.
23 yards on the pickup for Bad Marquez. 1st and 10 at the 20, and Texas Tech may not be done. This one complete as Brewers got it rolling. This one to Grant, dodging tacklers and fighting down to inside the 10-yard line.
This was one of the biggest fears that the Northwestern State coaching staff had, making tackles in space. We got another Northwestern State player down, but change direction, go in reverse, back up, stop and start, change speeds. Texas Tech can do all that in space, and Northwestern State coaching staff was fearful of it.
Player down as trying to catch quickly back up, so good to see that Jamal White is all right.
Yeah, we've seen Derek Rose and Jamal White both, nicked up, and he's flexing that left shoulder. And you play a game like this, there are reasons for it economically, obviously, but you don't want to get beaten up, particularly have your star players on defense get beaten up. Rose has been able to come back in. He cramped. He limped off the field another time. You want to be able to survive this physically so you can compete in your conference. You don't want to get decimated physically in matchups like this.
So, 1st and goal from the 9. Look at that jitterbug move by Foster. Still on his feet inside the 5, and Foster nearly squirts into the end zone. Black makes the tackle.
I got to give him credit, Bill, because he was the one that missed the first time. Here comes Black. Whoops! Black misses. Watch him get up and run after it, though. He's not going to quit. Who finishes it? Black. That's good stuff, you know? Even though you missed it, you get a second chance at it. That's what defenders used to say about Barry Sanders. He'll make you miss, but be patient. He'll end up coming back your way. You're going to get another shot at him.
Second down and goal from the 3 now. As the Red Raiders pouring it on. Inside 1:30 to go. Who just lobs it up there, and it is complete to Kennard. Another touchdown. Marcus Kennard. He's made a couple of early catches that were sensational, and now he's come back with a couple of TD receptions. And he had one nullified. Remember, he went airborne, and they ruled it out of bounds. His left hand came down just an eyelash before his right foot did. But that's a pretty ball. That's well thrown to the back corner of the end zone, and Brewer's like, hey, I got my first college, my second college touchdown. I got 2 of them. Bang, bang here in my first extended snap session. Kennard 4 for 40 yards and a pair of scores, and Buston comes on for the PAT with 1:25 to go. It is good. And Red Raiders 44-6 over Northwestern State. Only giving up a pair of field goals defensively and showing a variety of weapons offensively. Running the ball as much as passing early, and then Brewer showing his prowess in the throwing game. And last year, Bill, they were 13th in the country in total yards, 7th in passing yards at 345 plus a game, and they were 22nd in points scored, a little under 34 points a game. So Tommy Tuberville is not worried about his offense. They can score on anybody. He obviously had major concerns about his defense. 114 in the country total yards, 120th and dead last against the rush. They gave up 471 points, the most in school history. So he knew in order to compete where he wants to go and to go to a major bowl game, they have to be able to stop somebody. And tonight, they're showing signs of getting to that level. Well, and Texas State, I mentioned, they're leading Houston 27-13, late third quarter in Houston. So Tommy Tuberville may not have to worry about his team overlooking the Bobcats in their next game if Texas State can continue that mode against the Cougars. And then Tech has a bye, and then they go to Iowa State to open conference play. Taken at the 1, Harvey. Right up the gut, 30, 35, and drags another one with him out to the 37 or 38-yard line. Our Coors Light game summary tonight with Texas Tech 44-6. Daggy just a shy of 200 yards and a TD, but ran the game. Marquez was effective. How about the offense? 93 plays for 500 yards. And that's exactly what Northwestern State didn't want to have happen. Northwestern State, 46 plays, 78 yards. Oh, Hoffman, Tommy Tuberville are going to like that. There was a penalty flag on the return. It's still being sorted out.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 49 in the kicking team, 10-yard penalty. First down, Northwestern State.
Legal block in the back by the kicking team. That's interesting.
There's a different one for you.
7 plays, 53 yards. Take 2 minutes and 59 seconds off the clock and score.
So with 1:17 to go, Northwestern State will move the ball out to the 48-yard line, their own. They have Arkansas Monticello next, and then at Nevada on the 15th. On the ground for the Demons here as
Sidney
Riley carries it this time, the senior from Columbia, Mississippi.
And Bill, you know, the thing that is impressing me about Texas Tech is how everybody runs to the football defensively. Good things happen when you run to the football. And Art Kaufman has these guys giving effort. That's all he's looking for from people. Give me total effort. Commit to it.
Quarterback Canyon with a toss, and it's complete.
Don Kenyon's pass complete to number 11, Sheldon McLean.
McLean, the receiver for the Demons. 34 seconds and counting. And it'll be a 3rd down and 6 now at the 48 of Texas Tech.
Kenyon had himself a great camp. He definitely understands the offense. He's just not as physically talented as Henderson.
Sophomore out of Dallas, Lincoln High School. Keeps the football here. Stumbles forward, and that may be the final play of the game as Texas Tech opens up the 2012 season with a victory, dominant fashion, 44-6. I think they answered about every question coming in.
Well, the defense holds Northwestern State to less than 100 yards offense and 6 points. They never crossed the goal line, and they put up 44 of their own. So overall, Tommy Tuberville, his offense, defense, and special teams, all 3 phases won tonight.
And only one injury of note, bullet in this case.
Right.
And for Northwestern State, they put up a heck of an effort. They got beat by a better football team, but I still think there's some good things ahead for them.
I agree. With that head coach who's got the passion for the game that Pivito does, they're not going to quit.
So the Red Raiders win it here 44-6. Dagey and company impressive. Versatile offensively, showing outstanding depth. Defense suffocating against the Demons as Texas Tech rolls 44-6. So for Dave Lapham, Emily Jones, this is Bill Land saying so long from Lubbock, Texas. Our final score once again, Texas Tech 44, Northwestern State 6. Don't forget, switch over to Fox Sports Southwest. Our coverage of college football continues with Oklahoma taking on UTEP from El Paso. Begins 9:30. Good night, everybody.